Marking contract.
Gas is inbound. Heads up, an enemy squad marked you as a bounty target. Positive ID on the bounty targets. Hunt them down. You got a loadout drop inbound. Gas is inbound, marking a new safe zone. The enemy lost track of you. Good work down there. Bounty target's gone dark. We lost the contract. Gas is closing in. Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Fire sale active. Buy station prices have been reduced. Enemy UAV in the area. Gas is moving. Fire sale's over. Adjusting prices.
¿Qué quieres, güey?
Give it a start.
Phone call after he finds out his dad got shot. He's like, give me Long Beach 4, and then gives the number.
Aha. Yeah, there you go.
They're out in that area.
It looks like if Jersey Shore fucked Venice.
Oh, that sounds troubling, but also cool.
Yeah, it's got like the little restaurants on the boardwalk, and the water's right there. The beach looks clean. The sand looks good. I mean, I can't believe I didn't know about this, and it was just right there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time you want to go, I'll give you a ride.
What do you mean there, fatty?
Well, I got a big, shiny red vehicle right here in my backyard.
What, do you got a radio flyer wagon?
I got a... Well, I don't even want to say what I got because I mentioned what I was thinking about getting, and I got 48 messages being like, whatever you do, don't buy that car, you piece of shit, you're crazy. And the worst part is there's a delay on the podcast coming out.
Right.
So I went out and bought the thing, lock, stock, and barrel. I got the insurance, the license, the seatbelt, the hood, the whole thing. And I mean, I'm just inundated, whatever that word is.
Inundated.
Yeah,
Inuit.
Yeah, whatever it is, but I'm covered in Iroquois messages saying, don't buy the Sentra, you piece of shit. This thing's gonna fall apart. It dies after 6 weeks.
Oh boy.
It's a sucker's bet. Fucking whatever.
Well, don't Indian give it.
So now I got a car and nothing but warnings being like, that's the worst car I've ever heard of in my life. But I'm like, it can't. And my buddy Dave Yates made me feel better. He's a car guy. He's wise. And he was like, don't listen to him. He's like, it's an above average car. He's like, you bought an above average car. And he's like, you've got to keep in mind, a lot of these people are fans, but he's like, these internet people, you don't know what they're doing. They drive drunk, they ride the clutch, they hit the sidewalk, they don't get their oil changes, and then the car dies, and they go, oh, piece of shit.
That's true. That's true.
I'm like, there can't just be a car. Maybe I'm naive, but like, did they make an entire make of car that sucks?
I mean, the
just shits the
Pinto
bed?
or the Hummer, but I think you're fine with a Japanese rice rocket or whatever the hell you got there. So
Gear
I
up
think you're
fast,
all right.
we're
I mean,
about
I
to
don't know
get
exactly
evil.
what you got, but I think you're fine if you did the research. These police are going to shoot you no matter what happens. You buy a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, they're going to come after you.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Homer's like, I flew all the way.
That was close.
Like out of, and it goes.
The license plate.
Yeah,
Vanity? No.
not a vanity, but a.
Customized works.
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
What's that called? That's silly. Fuck.
I want that bird ready in 3 mics. Relay those coordinates. Gang's all here.
A novelty.
Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
So I decide I'm gonna buy a car.
Let's roll. Battle Royale.
Feels so like,
Yep.
whatever. And I also
Be
heard
advised, gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
Marking contract.
they said you can weld the hood shut for the first 5 years you have the car.
Like that.
Yeah, hyperbolic conversation. But if there's enough money, I don't have much better. Can't go enough money
Underneath, you got a drip it.
But, so, we go, I found this Nissan dealership in Long Island. I asked Steve Rogers, who's the very definition of a friend. He's like, this car he drives all the way from Brooklyn to Queens, picks us up. That's the nice thing about COVID. Everyone's got nothing to do.
I know. We're bored. I'm going to text Jerry.
He's like sitting there being like, what are you shitting me? I'll come get you. So he comes over, picks us up, drives us to Long Island. Now this is where...
Enemy soldier incoming.
I mean, you talk about arrested development. I am a...
You're losing ground. Move
So I
it.
show up, lock, stock, and barrel. I'm gonna buy a car. Did no research. I'm ignoring warning after warning. I'm like, I'm sticking with the Nissan. I show up with a check, like just a single check. And give me a car.
Bounty targets are up. Get
And he
after
goes,
them.
all right, I need to see your license. And I was like, shit. Well, my license expired in April. I was like, but Massachusetts, I still have a Massachusetts license. I've lived here for 14 years, never got a New York license.
Yeah, who needs it?
So I got a Massachusetts license, and he's like, well, this is expired. And I was like, but I got a letter from the DMV saying they've extended it through September. And he's like, do you have that letter? And I was like, not with me.
Yeah, who keeps
I
a
didn't-
letter?
I didn't bring the letter. So he's like, well, I need that letter. And I was like, well, hold on, I have a photo of it. He's like, well, that'll do. So I saved the photo. The only place I have it is my mother texted it to me because they mailed it to her.
Aha.
So I literally showed the salesman.
They are ready to fight.
And it says, I love you. Don't forget to tie your shoes or whatever underneath it. Like, my mom said I could have a car.
Wow. Jeez, did you pull your pull-ups up?
I mean, it's so embarrassing. He's looking at it going, okay. But the salesman, you can tell, he's taking my money. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he wants the moolah.
Yeah, so he wants to sell it. So he's like, okay, I think we can work around this. He's like, let me talk to my manager. He keeps leaving and talking to a guy, like, off in the distance.
Yeah.
And I can see the guy, like, pulling his hair out. What?
I mean,
Yeah.
you're drinking your juice box over there.
Yeah, I got a can of, he comes back and he goes,
Cans.
okay, do you have anything else? Do you have another form of ID? And I'm like, I have a passport. And he's like, that'll do. And I was like, well, I don't have that on me. But I got a photo of the passport. So I pulled up the photo of the passport. He's like, this is expired too, because everything's expired because of COVID.
Wow, yo, come on, you wouldn't have had a regular passport anyway.
Well, I mean, passport I would have needed.
Hey, my baby was making a baby. You want back?
What about a bank statement? Do you have any bank statements? Face app, I just show him my account, which has, in huge numbers, all the money I have in the world. So I'm like completely tipping my hand. I'm like, look.
Right.
And he's just like, okay, Jesus, okay, great. Because it's like my whole savings is in there.
Yeah, yeah. You
I'm
showed
an
your
asshole.
hand.
I got all my money in one account, so I'm just like, look at this.
Right.
And there's some ego involved because I'm like, this guy thinks I'm a piece of shit. Let me just show him how much money I make or used to make. And anyway, so finally he's like, okay, we can try to make this work. So he's got like a stack of papers and photos and a note from my mother and a picture of my dad.
Yeah.
And finally, Steve is like, what if you just put it in Sarah's name?
Aha.
Because she's got up-to-date license, New York, everything. So I'm like, that's not bad. So I was like, what if we bought it in Sarah's name? And he's like, that would be a lot easier.
Okay.
So now I'm not even buying a car. I'm just paying for a car. According to the state of New York, I don't have a vehicle. And this is the kind of thing when, if we got divorced, we get along very well. I think we're going to go the distance here. But if we got divorced, it would be this moment where the judge or the attorney is like, that's not your car.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
her car.
Right. You're
Like
gonna
her
lose
attorney.
It like, you lose it like kids and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Exactly. Like her attorney would be like, no, look at it. It's Sarah Talamash.
Right.
So I end up. Oh, go ahead.
It's quite a gift. I'm just saying, you bought your lady a gift out of nowhere. A surprise car. You put a big bow on it.
I haven't talked to our accountant either. I hope I didn't fucking ruin everything.
Oh, God. I think you're fine.
I'm probably fine. But so anyways, we do that, and I would test drive the car, and I've already made my mind up because I'm like, I don't want to look through cars and compare cars. You're there all day.
Yep.
And poor Big Dick Raj, he's just sitting there twiddling his little thumbs.
Yes.
So I'm like, let's just get out of here. I'm like, this car is great. And it's got like a big semen stain on the side, like literally a big white stain. He's like, we'll take that out. Don't worry about it.
A Lewinsky.
And anyway, so I'm like, all right, this will be the car. He's like, you got to come back. And then it's a whole rigmarole, of course. As you know, you got to get insurance and license plates and the whole thing.
The money just keeps ding, 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 just keeps tallying.
Brutal. Just brutal. So I come back. I'm home for 3 days, just waiting. And now I've initiated. I'm going to get it Saturday. I got to show up with the check and leave with the car. But now, don't you have this? Every decision you make, as soon as you finalize a decision, you're like, fuck me, I'm stupid. I should call my dad. I should call my accountant.
Yes.
My parents hate me.
Completely. I had that with this apartment.
It's brutal. So we're just sitting around waiting. Finally, yesterday morning, as we're recording, and Steve Rogers and Caitlin Palufo, great comics, they show up. They pick us up at 9:30 a.m. So they left their house at like 8:30.
Ah.
These are angels.
Saints.
They scoop us up. So me, Sarah, Kramer, the butler, Steve, Caitlin, we all drive back out to Long Island. Beautiful day. We get there, and the car, they have it all scrubbed up and shining, and it's sitting there. It's the only car out there. It's on display.
Woo!
And so I'm like, that's my new car. I got a car. It's so exciting, and this is painful. So we wait. They told us to get there at 10:30 would be the first ones. It takes 45 minutes to get in there. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So he's like, you got to go talk to the financing person. We go in there, and this is brutal. This is where it kills you. It's in Sarah's name, so the whole time he's talking directly to Sarah. She signs all the paperwork. He's like, Miss Talamash, it's a big day for you. I know you're excited. We couldn't be happy for you. You got the blood red, whatever. Yeah. Here's this, period. He's giving her all the thing, and she's signing away. He's like, take this pen. You're going to want to keep it. That's your car pen. And I'm just sitting there like a cuck watching this whole thing happen.
Now, is she thrilled? I mean, she doesn't really emote a ton, if I know Sarah. She's not a big, excited gal. Is she going, oh, boy, this is great, I'm gay?
No, she was getting us new floor mats off of Poshmark. And, so I'm just sitting there, and it's a bruising your ego because it just hammers home this, like, I'm a child. Yeah. I don't have a license. I couldn't buy a car. My wife is getting the car because I'm a moron.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like a single teardrop, like a Native American in a
Sure.
garbage pile.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and then he's like talking to her. He's like, "Do you want to get the full warranty?" And I'm like, and she's just looking at me, and I'm like, "Well, I think I don't know." And he's like, "I'm not talking to you, you piece of shit. Shut your mouth, Four Eyes." And he broke my glasses. And so finally we get the car though, and it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. I haven't had a car in like 8 years, and then it was dead grandparents' cars. This is the first time buying a car.
Yes, what a grown-up. Now I have so many questions. I know we're running short on minutes here, but I got a million questions.
All right, hit me.
Is it used? We'll just do lightning round. Used or new?
It's a certified pre-owned, a CPO.
Okay, but that means it's been owned, but it's still got a hymen, or it still runs perfectly, or refurbed. What is that?
I guess it just means it had the 175-point check, I guess. And it's got 14,000 miles on it. It's a 2018.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it tells you everything. Somebody bought it in Long Island, drove it to Santa Monica, drove it back, and then they leased it for a year and 4 months.
Okay.
So it's a pretty new.
Now, is it haggle? You haggle? You just bought it right off the sticker.
I did no haggling whatsoever. I was like, that's good. Good for me. The guy was like confused. He's like, this is crazy. Because everyone tells you got to leave and you got to do the walk away. But I'm like, I got my friend driving me around. I got to get in and out here.
Right.
I don't want to do the thing. And I'm not good with all right, well, we're leaving. We'll walk.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we talked about this on a queef. Even if I saved $3,000, it's not worth it to me to go back and forth and over and out and all the lying and the weird shit.
Okay, well, you don't have to tell me what you dropped on this puppy, but let's say you got I'm just going to throw out a random number here. You got the sticker at $20K. Once you say I want it, what does it pop up to with the rust proofing and you got to have keys? How you going to start it? The sunroof, the luminol, the miscarriage, whatever.
The insurance, I think it ended up being, good deal more than the sticker.
Yes, I hate that. I hate the good deal more.
Well, brutal, a few $1,000s more. And how about this? So we talked to Raleigh, the salesman, the whole time. He's our guy.
North Carolina?
We go to talk to the finance guy, and he goes, okay, so you should on you there have I pulled it all from savings, so I just paid cash. I mean, it's mine outright.
Yeah.
And he goes, you should have I'm going to make up numbers because I don't want to reveal, because I don't want people messaging me saying you got fucked there.
Of
but
course.
He's like, you should have a check there for $49,850. And I was like, no, it's for $44,000. And then he's like, oh, let me see where I went wrong. Yup, you're right.
What?
So
what
he
is that?
threw in an extra $4,000.
Wow,
and
he rooked you.
I think they try to catch you with your pants down to just write a check.
Wow.
They want you to go, okay, that sounds right.
That's where you get the slimy sleazebag used car guy stereotype.
It was a little strange. And then on one of the paperworks that we were signing, the mileage is 14,042 miles, but it was missing a digit. It said 1,402.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what's this? You're off by 1,000 here.
Yeah,
And he's like,
interesting.
whoa. It was like the movie Big when he's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Put down a couple extra digits. So a little shady, tricky, weird shit.
Definitely. Wow, I'm glad you got out of there with your shirt on, as they say. I know your pants were off, but that's a whole nother bag of hammers. But congratulations. It's like Henry Hill. You popped your cherry. This is very exciting. And I can't wait to get in this puppy and give it a big sniff and get that new car jizz in my nose.
It's got the smell. I mean, this thing is spotless other than the cum stand that he couldn't get out. We went back there. He's like, we did the best we could, and it's still there, but whatever. But it's shiny and bright. So yesterday was the first day we had it. We drove it back. Then we had podcasts to do and whatever. And so right around 5 o'clock, we're sitting there like, what do you want to do? And I go, let's go get in the car.
Yeah!
We get in the car, we drive over the Queensboro Bridge, 59th Street Bridge, doo-doo-doo-doo, feeling groovy, drove straight to Central Park. We parked next to Magnolia Bakery. We eat a couple cupcakes, put some money in the meter. We walked all over Central Park I'm going to be all over that shuffleboard court. And we got back to the meter right as it expired, which is such a good fit. We had to jog to get to the meter, hop back in the car, cruise back around. It was cruise night. We went to Astoria Park, watched the sunset, and I got a vehicle, baby. I got to come scoop you up. We'll go to Jersey or Long Beach, wherever the fuck you're talking about.
Scoop me, bitch. And we got to do you know who you are? You're Steve McQueef. You're Bullet. You're out on the highway, and we got to do a queef in the car. A car queef.
Oh, a car queef. I just rewatched Bullet. Fun movie.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I still prefer French Connection as a movie and a car chase, but that's neither here nor there.
Completely agree. That's a way better film. Bullet's just that one run, and that's it.
Yeah, it's exciting. The same guy did the car chase, but yeah, not a great movie, really. I'm kind of like, who gives a shit? But
yeah, he's a cool guy. He's got a turtleneck on. What a gig that is to be the car race movie guy.
Pretty good. He basically invented that fucking thing.
Right. Wow, how do you get into that? But yeah, so cool. Is it what you said you were going to get? I already forgot the brand. Or did you mix it up?
It's a Nissan Sentra. It's bright red. I mean, I'm giving too much info. You got my neighborhood, my car, and the color here. People could be shitting on that thing. Good point.
I feel the same way with the Hog. I keep a what do you call it? An undisclosed cover on it, or like a unrecognizable, or what do you call bland?
An unmarked van?
Yeah, something like that. Unmarked Normand. I don't know, but it's a very basic cover, just so people aren't like, is that the Hog? And then you see the Hog, then you know I live in that building.
Right. Well, I'll just tell this real quick. So the day before I picked up the car, that was the night that Sarah went out with some friends, and I was like sitting here watching Rosemary's Baby, getting creeped out, and I was like, let me go for a walk. I walk half a block, and this woman, a nice-looking woman, came running across the street, holding her phone. She's listening to Tuesdays with Stories.
What?
She comes running. She's like, this is crazy, but look at this. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. And she's like, yeah, I'm just listening to Tuesdays, so nice to see you. And I'm like, well, nice to meet you. And then it was awkward because she just wanted to give me my privacy and vice versa, but we kept walking like in the same direction. She was like 3 feet in front of me. It was like that weird thing.
Yeah,
I had to like slowly walk to let her get distance.
I think women are better at the distance. From my experience, not to generalize, but women are like, I'm a fan, thank you, stay over there, But dudes are like, let me lick your nipples and fuck you and all this shit.
Yeah, I think dudes think we want to hang.
Right.
Also, women may just be like desperately not want to fuck us, so they're like, I don't want to fuck you, just believe me.
Yeah, exactly. Which, hey, great, we got it. But that's the thing, folks. Get on the Patreon. We had a hot guest. We had Stavros Halkias from Cumtown. He killed it. We got a hot guest coming up, and you don't want to miss out on this one. So the Patreon is cooking. We're putting out content at least every week. We'll do a car queef if we can. We're trying to get it out there, folks. Plus, it's got the live eps and some old stuff, so you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, get weird, have fun, join up. It'll be exciting for you. And my special is coming out soon, very soon. We're not allowed to release the date yet. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing, but just soon, I can say.
Okay. Can I ask what the intro is? It's just going to be like,
I think it's just, boom. Yeah, I think it's just Donnelly saying, here he is.
All right. I thought it'd be cool if you could film something real quick with the Nissan. You slide into a parallel park and get out of that sunroof and roll right into the cellar.
Well, I'm so nervous the thing's going to break, and I'm just dreading. I don't even want to drive it now, but I also do. Maybe I'll come by.
Come by. I'm free all day. I'm free all gay. And I got some gigs coming up. Check my website. And a fun little exclusive. Bert Kreischer invited me to open for him on a few drive-in movie theater dates.
Oh, that's killer. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I need the dough, and I want to hang out. I'm rotting away in this apartment, and I have no air conditioning, so I'll be on a bus with the shirtless fat drunk himself. So come on out.
That's going to be great. Yes, and I have a gig. I think you're doing it right after me, or right before maybe. Royersford, Pennsylvania.
Oh, am I doing that?
That's what a fan told me.
Ah.
July 31st, Soul Joel.
Oh, yeah, Soul Joel.
It's an outdoor gig. Everyone's doing it, it looks like. Mine is Friday, July 31st in Royersford, right by King of Prussia, right just not too far from Philly, Pennsylvania. It's going to be one of those drive-up things or outdoor. It's an outdoor situation.
Sweet.
I haven't done a full set since 1988, so
Well, what do you do? 10, 20, 15?
no, you headline. I'm doing like
Oh,
45
my
minutes,
Lord.
an hour or something.
Oh, that's tough. Outside, 45 is a nightmare.
Gonna be brutal. Soul Joel's Comedy Club and Lounge, Royersford, Pennsylvania, and there's a bonus infrastructure, so if everyone could drive their old bones down there, that'd be nice. I'm dying. I just spent my life savings on a car that is gonna die in 10 miles.
But how good do you feel? Because I just did a gig, and the drive up and the drive back was hell, because you're with 28 comics, and half of them are a week in. So you get to drive the red rocket right up there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and then there's a bunch of relationships I can get rid of now. Steve Rogers, never have to see that guy again.
Yeah,
Woo.
get your big dong out of here. I got my own wheels, dickless.
Yeah, get out of here, big dog. By the way, I'm joking, of course, and Steve will be on that gig in Royersford, and he's great. So,
Great guy, great comic, and great piece, apparently.
yeah, so join the Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to our YouTubes, give it a review. I don't know, we haven't done all that shit in a long time, but keep listening. Follow the Instagram account. Tuesdays with
Yes.
Stories on Instagram. There's great clips. Nobody follows the fucking thing.
Great clips. We got clips on the Tuesdays Twitter. Follow your YouTube. Get your subscribers up.
Please.
And follow the YouTube for Tuesdays and subscribe and fucking watch Out to Lunch and the whole thing. Tell a friend.
Yes. And Sarah's new album. Shit, sorry.
Oh.
Voluptuous Boy comes out today.
Oh,
It's called
look
Voluptuous
at
Boy on 800 Pound Gorilla Records, so go check that out. For fucking Christ's sake, subscribe to her YouTube, the whole thing.
that. Good for
All right.
her. Great time to put an album out. People who need content. Everybody wants to kill themselves. So that's good. Good on you, Sarah.
All right. George is saying cut it. I mean, we're way long here.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, the people could use an extra 6
All right. I'm a
inches.
6.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you next week. I'll see you in the wheels there, hopefully. Pick me up. Chariot
All right.
awaits.
All right.
All right. Praise Allah. Bye.
Bye.
No one wants to be themselves. Up in the heavens where legends cry. Hopelessly watching the music die. Please believe that we've
Hey, Mark. Fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Keep them doggies rolling. Rawhide.
Is that
was
it? Is
the
that the
intro.
start?
That
Oh,
wasn't
was the start.
But it should have been. It wasn't bad.
All right,
Damn
that's
it.
the start. Fuck it.
All
We'll
right.
call that the start.
I was watching Curb the other day, and he walks in with his Chinese takeout, and he goes, "Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide." And I was like, what show does this? That's why it's such a great show, because he can just do whatever he wants.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so many great moments like that. How about the guy, Mike Pond?
Oh,
see
killing
that?
it. Killing
I
it.
mean, he made a video of you as Jerry, me as Larry from the show. It looks dead on. It's amazing.
I put it on the Twitter. Go check it out, folks. You gays out there. This guy is killing the promo. I don't even ask him to do it. He's having a good time. He's jerking off himself.
Mike Pond comedy.
Yes.
I assume he's a comedian.
He is. Cool cat.
Oh, you know him.
I've met him at shows. I think he's a Jersey queef, and he's come out to a couple shows. I think he's driven me to some shows. He's a good kid. Good shit.
Well, he's a hell of a photo shopper.
Oh, yeah. He can shop around. He's a secret shopper. Remember those?
Yeah, I mean, I dealt with him at Sears and FYE, the whole thing. I was in retail quite a bit, and I had a lot of secret shop. It was like this thing. It always makes me sad to look back. I had a manager at FYE for Your Entertainment, formerly Record Town, and she was a big, heavy lady, sweet as pie. I can't remember her name. I mean, this is 20 years ago.
Do you like pie?
More than 20. Oh, yeah, 20 years ago, I guess. Less than 20 years ago. But she would always get so anxious because the regional manager was coming, and she had the same uniform on as me, and it was all tucked and disheveled, and she was like Brett Michaels is coming down. He's coming in, and he's got a suit. And oh my God! And we had to shuffle and make sure you alphabetize. And
Yeah.
I remember being 20 years old and drunk and starting comedy and just being like, oh, this poor lady is
I
just
know.
being ruled by a regional manager who probably makes $12 an hour himself.
Yep. What a way to live. And it's like those sitcom, those old tropes, like the health inspector's coming, batten down the hatches, like sweep that up, clean that counter, quit jizzing on the tree. It was all. Remember, you had to like shut everything down and clean it all up.
But I remember they would bring in us, the high school employees or whatever, just out of high school, and we're making $8.75, like literally that's actually what we're making, and they'd pull us in and everyone take a knee and give a speech,
Yeah.
and the whole
Yeah.
time you're like,
Kaepernick.
I don't give a shit. What do I care?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get laid. I'm trying to get drunk. I'm trying to go to this Bob's big party this weekend.
But I get it. You had to. I mean, I appreciate people that whatever job they have, they're like, this is my job, and I care, and
I do
you don't want to
too.
get fired or whatever. But I definitely remember thinking, boy, that's a bummer to be really nervous about a regional manager of a CD store coming.
Yeah. And then some cum stain comes in with a white glove. Remember that? And he would, run his finger along something and go, that's a lot of diarrhea or whatever it was. But I agree with you about the if you're gonna have a job, just do it well. Like even the biggest fuck up as I am, even when I worked as a mover or a janitor, if somebody was like, you fucked this up, I would still feel horrible.
Yeah, but I remember also there was a guy that worked there, and I guess he was a manager too. But he would yell at me, and we ended up becoming friendly because he was like a tyrant. He was like the mean guy. And I remember him saying, what are you doing? You alphabetize the thing wrong. You got to. And everyone would always be like, whoa, and cry. And I remember just going, yeah, all right. You got it. And it really took the teeth out of him because he wanted to get the reaction.
Yes.
And I didn't give a fuck. He wanted someone to either be like, well, fuck you, you fucking asshole, or to cry. And I would just be like, all right, sure thing, man.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what am I going to get into it with this nut? And we ended up being friends. Like, it really destabled him. What do you call it? What's that word when they say, when someone's hot and you defrost them?
Thaw?
No, it's
You
not.
thawed 'em out.
It's like a word, like a, took the teeth out, undressed them.
Uh-huh.
It's when you really,
Decapitate.
you do this. See what I'm doing with my hand here? You kind of do this.
Aha. Yeah. You cool down. Yeah.
You cool them. You,
I know what you're getting at there, fatty. I know what tree you're barking.
when two people are fighting, they're going, oh, fire! And then someone comes in and
Depleted, desensitized,
Defund the police.
Degenerate, yeah, decup,
fuck. Oh, de-escalate. I think I de-escalate. I think I would de-escalate the situation by just being like, yeah, all right, man, I'll go alphabetize, you fucking weirdo.
Yes.
And we ended up becoming quite friendly. And then, I got to be honest, this is bad, but like, then when new people came and he did his little thing and they did cry, I'd be like, nah, that's fun. You kind of see the fun of it. Like, sometimes people do things and you're like, I kind of get why that's fun.
Sure, yeah. I think that's basically all of social media and canceling. Is just like, I don't feel like they actually care about the issue. It's just kind of like, all right, I got them to crumble a little bit.
Right. They just want to feel strong.
Yes, exactly.
They like the feeling, but the way to weaken someone that's trying to feel strong is to just be like, all right, sure.
Yeah.
You got it, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have to get that upset, but whatever. Sure,
I
I'll
mean,
alphabetize.
We've seen every movie where every guy's trying to like buy a girl a drink and let me take you out to dinner. Let me show you my Rolex and my cool car. And then the one guy's like, whatever, I don't care. Whatever you want. And she's like, ooh, who's that guy? It's the same shit.
Yeah, but it's still got to, in that situation, it still has to be a sexy guy because I feel like Costanza over here. I mean, I've ignored every woman I ever met. No one ever was like, but please.
That's a
They
good
were like,
point.
Great, he was nice and he's not trying to fuck me. I appreciate that. I mean, nobody ended up in more friend zones than me, including with my own wife. I was in a friend zone for about 9 years before I finally, took her bra off and kissed her nip.
Yeah, those bras are hard to get off. Sometimes it takes 9 years.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know why they're not all front. Give me the front bra.
I know, and why is it such a? I mean, you've seen every sitcom. Why, it's a hack joke now with the bra thing. Like, we can't tweak this. We got Uber Eats. We still got the same bra hook.
Yeah, but the front bra. This is what I like about the front bra. When you unsnap it and then they leave it open like this, it looks like, Steve McQueen with his gun on his thing there. It's like
that's
that
hot.
suspendery gun thing.
Yes,
That I like.
I like that too because it looks like the tits couldn't be contained. They popped.
They busted right out. Yeah, I love a nice busty bust.
Love a bust. It's weird. Sometimes I like it. This is where I might lose you as a host here, but sometimes I like a tit in a shirt more than the tit naked.
Well, I definitely feel that way about a vagina in underwear. So let's meet halfway. Let's
Wait a
connect
minute.
there.
But
Like-
a vagina and underwear, there's nothing to see there.
Oh, there's something to see, my
I mean, you
friend.
get just a meaty little inch of life in that thing, maybe.
Well, there's something to smell, that's for sure.
There's something to smell, and there's a 9-volt to taste.
Well, if they have a bush, you can see the bushel leaves
That's true.
in there. I like the
That's true.
leaves.
Yeah, little shrubbery.
But I'm saying a pussy, the underwear in that area of the body, not the pussy itself, but in the groin midsection,
Yes.
with underwear is hotter than without underwear.
Yeah, maybe. There's something about the underwear going up on the sides and going right up the pooper and all that. It's really something to see.
But you're saying tits hidden better than tits revealed.
Sometimes you see a pair of knobs in a shirt and you're like, wow, those things are bebopping and scatting all over the place. They're jumping around. It's a tight tee or a tight halter, whatever it is, a tube top. And you're like, wow, that looks so round and great. And then sometimes you see the actual tit and you're like, I was good before.
Yes, I definitely see what you mean. I mean, here's how I would say it. If you're familiar with the tit, you get to see a lot of the tit, you like that. But if you only had one option, if someone was like, hey, I'll give you 30 seconds to look at these tits, free spirits or in a T-shirt, I'd probably take the free spirit every time.
Well, every time, of course.
But yes, there are definitely times where a T-shirt tit, even a bra tit, I love because it's
I
got
love a
the
bra
shape.
tit.
It's really up there in there.
It's supported, yeah. And you could say the same for a rump. Some of these jeans are designed to really caress a rump and prop it up and put it on a pedestal. And then you see the rump in real life. It's got a zit, a blemish, a pock mark. Normand, it's got a shit stain and a C-section scar and a freckle and a mole. In the jean, it was it felt a little more polished.
Well, no arguments here. In fact, I would say if someone gave me the same option as the tit option, you got 30 seconds. You can see this ass bare or in panties. I'm taking the panties because, like you said, I mean, it's just a gamble. It's like Louis' old bit about the first time you're seeing a dick. You don't know what kind of dick you're about to get.
Right, it is a gamble.
I've seen a lot of butts with mud on them and just waves of cheese whiz and those like lightning bolt things.
Yes. What is that?
I don't know.
Ben Franklin discovered electricity down there, and one time I think I've talked about this before, but I hooked up with a gal in Kentucky, Louisville, home of Muhammad Ali and Diane Sawyer, and she had what looked like a paintbrush coming right out of the butthole. Just a couple of bristles. Yeah, and they were straight as an arrow.
Oh, so you mean I think like a used brush, like it had reds and blues and greens and browns.
No, this was fresh from Michael's art supply store, right out of there. Hot, fresh, dark, erect.
And real bristle sprouts.
Yeah, just shooting. I mean, it looked like Hitler's mustache just going outward.
Wow, like it was hiling.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's yucky. I mean, that sounds like a bonsai trap.
It was tough, but hey, what the hell? I was 18 beers in, and she was a nice lady, and we had a great night together. And it was just one of those things. Some people have a crazy cow lick or whatever, and I think she had a butt lick.
Wow.
For me.
Well, I mean, I enjoy licking butt, but not one with thorns on it.
I mean, it was only like 7 hairs, but they were just really brazen.
Yeah, it's hard to get upset about that because that's Mother Nature being a mad scientist. I mean, it's hard to get in there and fix those hairs. You got to go to a shop, and who knows how expensive that is. That's got to be triple digits, I imagine.
And look, no complaints here. I'm not knocking the foliage. I'm just saying it was unusual.
Yeah, I wonder if you got her in the winter if it falls out. Maybe it's seasonal.
Oh yeah, almost like a snake shedding its skin or something.
Right.
Comes and goes.
Snake butt.
Yeah, snake butt indeed. I mean, she was a python whore, but I feel like if you put a couple of eraser shavings down and she did a few squats and wiggles and twerks, she could sweep that into a pan. All right, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, that's some kooky business, but I got to tell you a story here. I got one story. I mean, I feel like I'm a little light on business here. Maybe
I got one
a few
story
things.
too. Sorry, yeah, I'd like to hear it.
Well, this one I think is gonna upset you. It upset me, so I don't want to
Oh no.
preface it with, you're gonna be upset because I want to get your natural reaction. But I know you pretty
no.
well.
I don't want to. Is it a tear jerker or just a dick jerker?
No, it's a
Oh,
it's one of these.
I'm nervous.
I'm about to give you a fist. I'm going to give you one of those here.
Fist me.
So I go over, Gary Veter, a new dad, frequently oft-mentioned fella on the show here.
Yep,
we love our little Veter, the little guy,
Good egg.
Great egg, and he's all leaned up. I mean, this guy, he went over to Jersey. He's got a brother-in-law that's like, one of those. He's like the exercise guy with the mullet. What was that guy's name?
Oh, Tony Little?
He's one of these Tony Littles. I mean, he's doing push-ups and burpees and squats. I mean, Veter's ripped.
Well, he's Gary Little, so that works out. But he was always a little he was always a little stern. Like he had a good beef to him already, but I think he cut the booze out. He's a dad now. I think he's just doing mini pull-ups all day. They're both wearing pull-ups.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but I mean, he's little. He shaved his head. I mean, he looks like a little convict. He's all broad and ripped, and I just want to fuck him. I want to hold him down and fuck him against his will. That's how good he is.
I'm picturing like a little Jewish Max. Is it Max Cherry? He's just doing the weights in the cell with the tats on his back.
Wait, no, that's Max Cady.
Katie.
Max Cherry is the bail bondsman from Jackie Brown.
That's the one. Nicely done. Robert Forrester.
Yes.
Yes.
So who's just passed away?
Did Regis Philbin die?
I heard that just now, just across the wire. I heard a little.
Man, that's a bummer. I mean, he's a guy I thought would go forever.
I think he was 88. I gotta be honest here. I don't want to break up the party, but I don't really give a shit about Philbin.
I like Philbin.
I like him on Seinfeld, but other than that, he's a little much, no?
That guy's bonkos. But I will say, when I was younger and I moved to New York, the first week I said, I'm going to Letterman. It was free to go to Letterman. And I got tickets. On Letterman was Bill Clinton and Regis Philbin. And it was fucking killer.
Well, I was going to say the next words out of my tits were going to be, he was fun on Letterman because he was on there. He might have been like the most often because I think he was across the street or up the stairs or down the hatch. They would just come over.
Yeah. But here's the clinker. This is what kicked me right in the taint. They go, all right, thank you. We're all applauding. Letterman's out there. He goes, that was a great show. Thanks for coming out. Tomorrow night, Larry David. I went, you cum guzzling Nazi. What are you doing to me? One day off.
Oh, that's brutal. But yeah, Philbin, I like, he's fine, but he's 88. I mean, if he was 41, I would have been like, oh, no kidding. Oh, that stinks. But I don't have enough energy to give to Regis Philbin right now.
I hear you.
You know what I mean? I mean, we got climate change and the whatevers and what's the thing called? COVID.
Pandemic.
Yeah, there's a pandemic and no one has any money and the whole thing and the money is about to run out, yada, yada. I mean, Philbin, I can't give him any of my points.
All right. Well, fuck Philb.
Yeah, I hope he's in hell rotting to death. I mean, he's dead, whatever.
I didn't know he was 88. That changes everything, but he was just always so spry, and he had a full head of fake hair, and he's from the Bronx, and he was always energetic. I don't know. It seemed like he had a couple more decades left.
Like a big apple pie. No, I'm sorry he's dead. I feel bad now. Now I feel like a real jerk. Who cares? But Veter's doing great.
There
He's
you go.
alive. And, well, speaking of dead, should we give a little shout-out to our pal, Dr. J. Sute? I mean, that's a guy you feel sad for. He was about 48, this guy.
Yeah, that's a guy you can put some energy into. This is the sweetest guy, Connecticut pediatrician. He opened for me once and you a time or two, I don't know, and just one-liner guy, had the wacky ties and so nice and lovey and helpful. He loved Tuesdays. He was a huge Tuesday Patreon, queef status. I mean, we went to his house. I swam in his pool. We did a queef together. That should be out there somewhere. And what, did he get cancer?
Yeah, he had some whole gaggle of brain tumors. Like, I think we talked about it back when it happened. But yeah, he called me up on the phone. I texted him. He didn't respond. Then he called twice, 2 missed calls. And I'm going, I don't know, answer the phone. Are you going to be shitting me? You're just calling me up on the phone? That's insane. And then he texted, I'd really like to talk to you, Mr. List. And that made me like, oh, Jesus, I guess I got to call the guy.
Yeah.
And he was a real nervous Nelly. He sounded all quivery and was like, yeah, I got a handful of brain tumors, inoperable, and I'll see you later. I'm dying. And it's fascinating to have someone be like, yep, that's the end. Take care.
I know.
And, but
And
huge Tuesday, and well, it wasn't exactly a healthy guy. A lot of smoking and but
junk food.
great guy. And then I went back through all of our messages and texts. Quite touching. It's weird to read long conversations with somebody that's dead.
Yeah, I know. They're just up and gone all of a sudden. Time is a real cunt, and he was one of those guys where like. He was a fan, but he was also a comic. So it was that weird line, like being in his house. I remember being like, what am I doing here? But also, I like this guy. But also, is this too much? Are we too close? But also, I'm having fun. And it was a weird thing. And then you called him, and you're like, you better call this guy. And, obviously I don't want to call anybody, but I was like, fuck it. And we talked, he talked for like an hour. And I just sat there. And I remember coming back in the room, and my gal was like, what the hell was that? I haven't seen you in 3 days. I was like, it's a whole thing. But even in my head, I didn't think he was going to go.
It's so funny because when you said come back in the room, I picture you putting the phone down and leaving the room, doing some stuff, and coming back, and he's still going.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's weird. Just like that. And it's like these folks, we talked about this before, I'm sure. When people die that you don't see all the time, it's strange because you forget that they're dead.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like we were seeing Dr. J every other day. So
right.
And it was weird, but huge Tuesday. I mean, this guy was a gay. Some of the messages, I went through all of our messages through the years, and some of them were like, "Hey, the episode's not up." And it's like 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird. So, and huge Patreon, and like you said, he's on a couple Patreons. You can go here, and sweet guy. But I made a post about him. I tried to say that I'm like, you don't have to give me a big, I'm so sorry, condolences. I'm not devastated. You're just like, that's a bummer. I mean, back then it was sad when I had the talk, and it's sad that he's gone, obviously. But I don't want people to think that my world is crumbling or God. It was just one of those ones where you're like, good guy, and bummer.
And I hate to be a chooch here, but I think a lot of people sometimes will use a death in their life to get some high fives and some noogies and some likes and queefs and retweets, and I'm like, you weren't going for that. You just had a nice thing to say, and you made me peace. Move on.
Yeah, I got a few texts that are nice, like so sorry. And I'm like, I'm at the beach. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But he's got some daughters, and that sucks. And he's a pediatrician, so all these kids' doctor died. How strange is that?
That's so sad. Yeah, and I think he had an ex-wife that really screwed his asshole hard on some cash.
Yeah. So, but good guy. So long, Doc, and thanks for the queefs and for all the love and the laughs. Funny guy.
Yes. Good
Great
Allah.
But anywho, so Gary Veter's alive, and he's a neighbor. Love the guy. He's got a little son over there, about the same size. And by the way, his son is quite portly. This is
Oh, really?
Have you seen a photo of the kid?
Not a new one. No, I just saw him right when he had the placenta all over him.
Oh, he's a jumbo baby. This kid's like he's playing offensive tackle for the the Veters, I guess. But he's a fat shit. But he's a nice-looking baby and good-looking guy, sexy Veter. So the other day, I always text him, and you never want to bother a guy because he's busy and the baby's sleeping and his wife and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to every day go, hey, are you around? But I'm always walking by his house every day.
Sure.
So I'll text a lot and say, I'm walking by. If you're around, no sweat. And I just tell him, open invite. I'm always around the neighborhood walking around. So we've seen each other a few times. The other day I was walking, and I bump into him, and now I didn't recognize him at first because he shaved his head, and he's all ripped, plus the masks. So you don't know who's who. So he's got the mask on and some groceries, and I went, Gary? It was kind of like Gary Fogel.
Yeah.
I go, Gary, and he's like, hey, and he's in a daze. Like, he's like completely out of his mind because he's up all night, raising
Right.
the baby, wiping the ass, you know, eating
Sure.
the pussy, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
So he goes, let me drop these groceries off. My house is right here, and then I'll go walking. And I'm like, all right. Of course, you have to do the thing of like, drop them off. Come back down. Don't give me no, I'm standing out here for 45 minutes. You know how people do. You know those people that are like, I'm going to run upstairs.
Yes. Then they make a sandwich. They take a shit. They take a shower. Yeah. Come on.
Exactly. They put on their heels. So we go over there, and it's a thunderstorm coming. So I'm like, we got to make this quick. He goes upstairs. He lives in a fancy building. He was doing very well pre-COVID.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a business. They used to own a business. But so he goes upstairs, and I'm just standing. This is a nice building, doorman, brand new building.
Wow.
I'm sitting there, and these two, you know when you just see a cunty couple, you can tell they're cunty. Their vehicle, they have like a huge, what's it called? Like a Yukon? Like those huge vehicles.
Sure.
I think that's
Big
a thing,
gas
right?
guzzler.
Like an Explorer, like just like a big thing, nice, new, shiny. You can tell they're loaded, you know,
Yep,
and they're
yep.
bringing out all these, you know, Yeti coolers and fancy suitcases. They got a baby of their own, the stroller, and they're just kind of fancy pants types.
Gotcha. A little well-to-do.
Yeah, I don't like a fancy pants type.
I know you don't. It strikes a chord with your poor upbringing.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the fancy pants. So they're doing all fancy pants, and I'm just standing there, and they're kind of giving me the crook eye because I'm standing there. It's COVID. I don't live there. They're like, who's this guy just hanging out?
Right.
And I don't want to be like, I'm waiting for my friend. I just kind of, you guys do your thing. I didn't like their vibe.
I hear you. I smell you.
So then we're standing there. They're packing their car. All of a sudden, a car pulls up. Two guys, sexy guys, in shirt, no tie, nice slacks, handgun on the belt,
Ooh.
and some handcuffs. I've said this before. A suit with a handgun is just a sexy look.
That's a good. I'm moist. I'm wet. It's like an undercover cop, but you're kind of above it. You're like a cop with some dignity and sophistication. You're not just like the fat guy with the donut.
Yes, an inspector.
Yes, gadget.
Or a, what's the other one? Not inspector, but...
Detective.
Detective, yeah. So somewhere in between there. So, I mean, I think different, what do you call it? Police precincts call it different things.
Sure.
In this town, you're an inspector. In that town, you're a detective. Same shit, whatever. So they pull up. They jump out. They go up to the door. And I'm a little turned on, but a little mystified because it's two dudes with handguns on their belt. And one's Asian, sexy Asian, and the other one's like kind of mookish.
Okay, we got an Asian and a mook.
A little
A
like,
gook
oh,
and a
what do you
mook."
fucking do? So they come up, and they try to open the door, but they can't get in. The guy's like trying to hit call. They're a little frantic. And he's like, "You live here?" The Asian didn't do any talking. He was a ninja. He was silent, and he went. The other guy's like, "Hey, you live here?" And I was like, No, I'm just waiting for my buddy." He's like, "Who live here? Anyone live here?" And I was like, "Well, my buddy's about to come down. He's about to come downstairs, like any second. He'll let you in." And the other couple's just standing there, and they got their arms folded. They're just kind of watching what's this about, you know, giving the little stink eye again. They gave me the stink eye, now they're giving them the stink eye.
Why don't they go up to their fucking house? What are these weirdos doing?
Well, they're unpacking for a big trip, it feels like.
Aha.
But I don't know why they don't go back in. They're skeptical. So
Okay.
then I see Veter. I go, "Here's my buddy." So I thought this would be funny. Gary's coming out. He sees two like federal agents waiting, And as soon as he opens the door, I go, get him! Which I thought was really funny, but Veter, it turns out, he's on edge. He hasn't slept. He has a baby. You know, there's guns, BLM, everything's happening, so he doesn't know what's going on.
Maybe a little ganja happening as well.
Exactly. So he's a little nervous, and I was like, oh, so I felt bad right away because I could tell he was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, you live here? And he's like, yeah. He's like, is there a concierge, a doorman or something? And Vito's like, well, there's a door guy, but he's not here right now. And he's like, is the super here? Does he live on site? And Gary's like, no, he doesn't. He's like, but I have his number if you need his number. And so he's helping out. Now, all of a sudden, this chaps my asshole. The Explorer douche. Remember those guys?
Yes, yeah, Rockefeller.
He yells from 20 feet away, you got a warrant? Now, doesn't this bother you?
Yeah, he's seen a movie or two, huh?
He's watching too many films. He's a fucking douche. Do you have a warrant? You're like, he's not searching your apartment. It's two fucking cops that are just asking for the surveillance camera.
Right.
This isn't a fucking issue. It's not a fucking police abuse. They're not coming into your home and checking your underwear drawer, you fucking douche.
Yep.
They just they don't even want that. Don't even worry about it. He just wants to talk to the fucking guy. You don't need a warrant to talk to a guy.
I know, and we could be solving a rape or a murder here. Like, stay out of it, Dickless.
Well, so here's the thing. So then the mook guy, his mask is all falling off. You can tell he's like, we got to wear these goddamn masks, like a bunch of queers. And so he's got one of those masks that's like hanging over here, like you can see his lips and his nose. I'm sure he's a penis. But he's like, I need a warrant. Do I need a warrant? And the guy that said it, like all these types, just folds. Ooh. And he goes, you want me to catch the guy that slashed the woman the other night?
Ooh.
Some woman was slashed in front of Sunswick Bar on 35th Avenue here in Astoria. Slashed, Mark.
Slashed like Guns N' Roses.
Slashed up. Not even stabbed, but slashed.
Wow, that's even scarier.
So they're trying to get this guy, and they're like, these two detective people are just trying to catch a guy who's running around slashing women with a knife and taking their shit.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, maybe shot in the dark, slash in the dark. Maybe he's on film on this fucking street. Let's go see if we can get the cameras of this building. And this fucking douche, do you have a warrant?
Yeah.
And he's like, he goes, well, do you want me to catch this guy? And the kid goes, well, you didn't say that. And it's like,
we got to tell you everything.
Fuck off. I hated this guy.
I hate him.
And so, Vita gave the number, and we just, we walked to Starbucks, and poor Gary was like, did I do the wrong thing? He's like, is that guy mad? Should I have done this? Because he just walked into the situation. I yelled, get him.
Yeah.
He's got two dicks with cops, Dick like Detective Dick, and maybe Dicks also.
Private Dick.
And then this other guy, so now he's got some people in his house mad at him for giving the number of the super to the detectives who are trying to catch a guy who's slicing women open with a knife.
He's slash and gash. But here's the clinker. I mean, this guy's going to go back up to his giant penthouse apartment with his Yeti cooler and his Birkenstocks, and he's going to go, fucking cops down there think they can do whatever they want. They're all pricks. You're like, what about you?
Well, he also thinks, I stood up to him. Like, I just hate the mindset. I hate the attitude of, like, I know what to do here. These cops. And, I'm not saying the cops aren't fucking abusive and doing horrible things in certain situations. No question about that. I'm not talking about the greater police thing. But this idea of, like, hey, you got a warrant? Just you're in the way.
Yeah.
You're in the way. I don't need a warrant to have a conversation with the fucking door guy at a building.
Yes. About trying to solve a serious crime here, fatty. Get out of the way.
I'm like, let's get this guy. I live in this neighborhood. I walk around. My wife walks around. She's a woman. I would rather not die. If him looking at your fucking dumb surveillance camera in your stupid building is going to help me not get sliced open with a knife, how about you give him the fucking video?
I know. Well, he read one article on defunding the police, and he wanted to make a stand, and he stinks. And those video cameras are so clutch because when I got robbed, they kept being like, "Don't worry, this is the West Village. We'll find him on the tapes." And they walked around the whole building. They're like, I don't think I've ever come across a building in the village that had no cameras. If we had a camera, we could catch this guy tonight. And I was like, damn, that sucks. So thank God for these cameras.
Wow. Well, I appreciate it. It's one of those tricky matters with everyone's watching us and Big Brother and yada yada. But sometimes you're like, I hope someone was watching that incident.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You're going to want to get on the Patreon, folks. Speaking of incidents, because we've been cleaning up with Stavros, and now we have Dan Soder on the last one. That Soder ep was like, that was a butter, baby. It all just flowed. That was something smooth about that episode. I mean, Stavros was great too, but that Soder one was magical.
The Soder one was great. We had a lot of great topics. We talked about who would bring back to life for a day, and what year we'd travel to, and who'd want to fuck if we were gay, and it was some great conversation, good stuff. Soder was in a good mood, and just one of the funniest guys ever, obviously. And,
yeah.
And you, me, and Stavros had a hell of a debate on if Cher is hot, and
oh yeah, that was good.
That was fun,
Yeah.
and not to mention the live episodes and all the queefs and the bonuses. So get on there, and we got the cheapest Patreon in town, I might add.
You got that right, and we just lost Jay Sute, so we got a lot of shoes to fill, folks. And,
Yeah, pick up the slack for him.
Yeah, and you know, things are kooky right now. We got a pandemic. We got women getting slashed. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself some Feels CBD.
Yes, sir.
Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Feels, Feals CBD. Do you experience stress, have anxiety or chronic pain, or have trouble sleeping at least once a week? Well, you're not alone. Many of us do. I can't sleep. My head sucks. My brain is evil. I take a little CBD, just a few droppers right on the old soup cooler, and I am just off to the races, snoozing. I love it. It calms me down, but it doesn't get you high, which I hate. I'm not good with the high, the weed. I'm bad news, but CBD I love. Makes me feel a lot better. I was searching for anything that would help. I discovered Feels. What is Feels? Well, it's a premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. Feels natural, helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. I'm a big fan. Place a few drops under the tongue. Feel the difference within minutes. New to CBD? Well, Feels offers a free CBD hotline and text message support for all you weirdos out there who don't trust it. Give them a call. Works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, no hangover, no addiction. Tell them about it, JoJo.
Feels has me feeling my best every day, and it can help you too. Become a member today by going to feels.com/Tuesdays, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/Tuesdays to become a member and get 50% off automatically taken off, for your first order with free shipping. One more time, it's feels.com/Tuesdays and feel better. And another thing you might want to do, and if you're listening to the show, you know that Mark and I are big fans of therapy. We love it. Tuesdays with Stories is now brought to you by TalkSpace.
Yes.
Change is constant, and these days there is something new and unprecedented to grapple with every single day. It's a lot. You got to talk it out with someone. Now, folks, obviously we're a couple of real nuts, and we started going to therapy, a few years ago, and I've dabbled in therapy throughout. As a kid, I was in child therapy, and then in my teens, and then again in my 20s, and now I got the best therapist of all time, although he's going through some business. But anyways, if you want a therapist, and I know a lot of you do, you can go to TalkSpace. It's online therapy that's here to give everyone support because we all need it right now. They'll match you with a licensed therapist who you'll be able to reach out to 24/7. That's right. Whenever something is on your mind, you'll hear back 5 days a week. You know anything about this, folks? I mean, Mark?
No, but I mean, these guys must be Tuesdays because this is right up our alley. This is such great stuff. I love it. I mean, we're big therapy nuts, as you said, and this is such an easy, convenient way to do it. You don't have to meet some weird guy in an office on 72nd Street. So this is hot stuff. I like it. We all need someone to talk to, and Talkspace wants to give us the license support we deserve at a price we can afford. Just for our listeners, you can get $100 off your first month with code Tuesdays. To match with your perfect therapist, to go to Talkspace.com or download the app and use code Tuesdays to get $100 off your first month. That's Tuesdays at Talkspace.com. Thank you.
Yeah. Go check it out. And by the way, don't forget, we have a Patreon thing where if we get to 3,000 patrons, we're going to do an audio commentary for the film Stranger by the Lake, the gay porn thriller Hitchcockian. And I think we're at what are we at, 2,900, 28 something.
28 and change.
If we can get 100 people to join up for this thing, you're going to get a hell of a, treat. You haven't seen the film. It's going to be really something.
I'm seeing it with fresh eyes, fresh hymen, and Hitch. You put the cock in Hitchcock. I can't wait. I want to watch it. I want to talk to you about it. I want to fuck. So this will be a good time.
I've always dreamed of watching a man come while sitting with you holding hands, you know?
Hey, well, I have a dream too, and we can make that happen.
Yeah, someday this nation will reach out and come on its own back.
Yes. Now I got a humdinger to throw at you there, Fatty Boom Batty, and tell me what you think about this.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, so my gal, my lady, my GF, my main squeeze, she has been getting accosted on the street quite a bit.
Uh-oh, not slashed, I hope.
No slash, no gash, but she's something about her. She's very non-threatening. She's a jolly New England whore, you know. She's boop-boop-boop. She's got a big lollipop and a bow in her hair, and she's skipping down the lane. And so I think people see her and they go, oh, ironically, she's a mark. You know, she's a target.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but she gets it all the time. Like, every day she comes back like, this guy did this to me. This guy did that to me. So I'm always like, hey, you got to keep your wits about you. I'm worried. Just put a puss on when you walk down the street. Just kind of like, grimace. Just do something, because you're too chipper. You're too nice. You're too cute. Something's up. People go directly towards her and fuck with her. So we had the mother load last week.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. I thought, you got a boner? You moved the pillow?
No, I'm just shifting. I'm getting ready for the mother load.
So she's walking down 6th Avenue, and there's a gaggle of hobos. These hobos are getting brazen in the pandemic because they got the streets. The streets are theirs.
I know, and there's more of them because people are getting evicted, and, I think there might be some problems in this country.
Yeah, it's going to get even worse, I think, if the pan keeps cooking. But either way, she's skipping down 6th Avenue with a jump rope and a teddy bear, and this guy is with a gaggle, and he's holding a disheveled, fucked up tuna sandwich. Like, clearly out of the garbage, half-eaten, got a maggot on it, a fly, and a cigarette butt stuck in it. And he's walking by her, and she's like, well, that's weird. And he's got like six hobos in towbo. And he walks by her, and he goes, whoa! And he hits her shoulder, and he goes, oh! He drops the sandwich, and he goes, oh, that cost me $17. Oh, look what you did. You know, it's the worst acting in history. It's an oldest grift in the book.
It's a grift. It's a tuna grift.
We're back.
Yes,
We're
too
back.
much tuna.
Let's
So
try to get some
now
games
she's like,
in.
oh, geez, like, what am I, an idiot? I don't know what's going on here. But you got the white lady with the cute skirt on. You got the old black guy with a no tuna and a gaggle. I mean, it doesn't look good.
Bad gaggle.
Yeah, she's got no gaggle reflex. And so these guys are in the back going like, oh, this he loved that tuna. He was hungry, boy. He was really looking forward to that Sandy. Holy hell, what'd you do, lady? You ruined everything. And now she's going, geez, I got a gaggle here. I feel bad. The tuna, the hobo, Karen, you know.
Yeah.
So she's in an awkward position. So she's like, all right. So she pops open the wallet, takes out a Tensky, and she gives it to the guy.
Oh, the gaggle grift. I mean,
Yes.
it's fun to know that the grifts are coming back into the city. I mean, that's kind of fun. It's nostalgia.
What are we going to do? Pickpocket? We're going to have a 3-card Monty? Like, where's it going to end here? What are they going to put a bucket of water over the doorway? It falls on you? It's getting out of hand. It's 2020. She's getting the sandwich grift.
I mean, even the slash feels old school. Who slashes anymore?
That's a good point. Well, I picture him with the butterfly knife, you know, that switchblade.
Yeah, we're living on the set of The Sting over here. We got slashes and grifts and fucking fake mustaches. I don't know what's going on.
I know. This guy had a pork pie hat and a weird cigar, or a little pipe thing, and he had overalls on and a twig in his mouth with a stick with a bag on it. He was like, "Oh, Lordy B, ma'am, that was my only tuna. I look forward to that tuna all day." So what could she do? Because I was like, "Don't give the guy any money." You know, she told me about it later. And she's like, "I had to. They were eyeballing me. The gaggle was eyeballing."
Wow. I wonder what would have happened if no money, because it probably would just be some verbal business. I mean, who
Right.
knows, I guess, but it's better to just give the money worth it to just get out of there unscathed.
Right. Yeah, I felt so bad, though. I felt like a weird dad because she called me and she's like, "Oh, this happened to me. It was so annoying. This guy's a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah." But I only brought cash. She was going to buy her lunch. She's working from home, so she was going to buy a lunch like a little school kid, and they took her lunch money, and so I had to come down and buy her a burrito.
Oh, boy.
Check your
These are
weapons,
strange
check your
times
gear. We're
out
holding for
there.
deployment.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Peak time, we're going to get evicted this day now, and we got a couple days before the money runs out.
Deployment's over and all that, and 18th wave coming, and Katrina and the waves, and the green wave. It's brutal.
This is still the first wave with the waves.
The fuck?
Boy, so, I could
Who
make a
knows?
wave joke. Wavy,
Mhm.
wavy hair.
Bye.
Yeah.
Wavy gravy.
All stations, green light. We are deploying to the war zone.
Waze, that's an app.
Yeah, everyone
Let's
put
get
your
that
waves.
bird spinning. Finish up. We're airborne in 3.
I like Google Maps.
There
well,
you are.
sometimes it'll get wonky on
We got the
Google
green
Waze.
light.
It's
You're going
too
to the war
cartoony,
zone.
it's very
Grab your
Asian,
gear and
like when
shoot.
you're playing a game,
You're
you
up
know,
in
like
3.
Dunkin' Donuts. It's like,
Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact
Yeah,
early
it's
and
funny,
often.
but the cops, I don't need the cops. I've never been a speeder. I don't have the thing.
Let's get this done.
It's up to the cops.
Battle Royale.
10 and 2, and they hit the soft and fine. Wearing shoes.
I don't mind the cop thing.
Keep
Marking
clearing that gas.
contract.
Get to the safe zone.
Hauling ass down the highway, you know? You're like, oh, that's good to do.
I guess it's just it just makes me nervous. I'm like, cop ahead. I'm like, shit. I always slam on the brakes even if I'm doing the right temperature or whatever it's called. Volume.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah,
But-
Tuesday.
Never saw it, but hey, Phil, I know we talked about this on the week, but you watched that Palm Springs.
I did, yes.
That's a hell of a picture. Very nice picture.
I told you, it took me about a 10 spot to get cooking. I was like, this is silly. We're just doing a Groundhog Day ripoff, and I'm a Groundhog douche. I love the Bill Murray. I love Harold Ramis. So at first I fought it, but you hang in there, and it really.
Oh yeah, I saw it as well. I didn't know Sandberg was involved, but not a huge
You got gas moving in.
the opposite, but he kept it,
What the fuck? Jeez, Joe.
you know,
Calm down.
well written, fun, funny, nice. Buddhism in there.
Enemies
It was
dropping
great.
into the AO.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons is always good, and good time, and it just built and built and built, and he almost didn't want it to end. And also, the movie's like 10 minutes long. If you look it up, it's like I think it's like 87 minutes.
I love an 87-minute movie, and in and out, just delightful. It brought joy to my heart and cum to my ass. I just really loved it. And I'm also, I think I've talked about it, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, I just think is fantastic.
I keep hearing great. I can't do it. It's too dark. No pun intended. It's just too. That's heavy shit we're dealing with there, and I'll do it. But it's a pandem. My ass is bleeding. The hobos tuna. I mean, it's a little quacky right now, and I need a minute.
Well, it's very scary. Take your time, no rush. It's a very frightening show. In fact, it's the scariest show I've ever watched because it puts you in there. It's got weird music. And it's fucking
Marking
with me
contract.
mentally. I'm watching it. It's a guy that breaks into houses. And,
Your
and
objective's
fucks the
simple.
women and,
Eliminate all bounty targets.
beats them to death with logs. And
Wow,
they
logs.
would tie the guy up and then put dishes on their back. And he's, if I hear these dishes, I'm gonna kill your wife.
Yeah,
An enemy
my
squad's
hell, as
hunting
much
you.
as
Stay
we get
sharp.
Shit all day long on YouTube and whatnot. Can you imagine being the woman in that situation and dealing with that, and then going on and living a full life after that? I couldn't live.
Well, there's this one couple in there, sweet as pie. I mean, it really gave me the feels, not the CBD oil, the FEE. MLS.
Gee.
ALS. Is it MLS? What's MLS? Oh, that's the soccer. ALS is the disease.
Yes, ISIS bucket.
Someone might argue that MLS is a disease also.
MS.
Oh, MS, right.
Then there's
Multiple-
MS-13.
Yes.
Multiple
they seem-
sclerosis.
Multiple sclerosis. Then there's Major League Soccer. MS-13. I don't know what that is.
That's the Hispanic gang on the West Coast.
I mean, I know what it is. I'm saying I don't know what Long Island.
Ooh, they're friendly.
But I don't know what it stands for.
Ah, yes, yes. Midsummer 13. I don't know. Maybe Unity. Who knows? But yeah, that's something to Google. Give that a go.
Maybe it's Spanish. Maybe it's, Miyagi Sayonara.
Yeah, Mio Sosa. Of course I don't know. All right.
Diaz y Trace. But okay, so.
Solid work evading the enemy.
They do the,
You're clear for
the
now.
music, and they have like audio tape of the guy being like, "I'm going to kill you."
What?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Loadout drop headed your way.
What's the guy on a Zoom?
Double kill.
Good. Hell of a job.
Spooky and creepy and wild.
Fucking cleared 2 bounties in like 10 seconds, fellas.
And I'm getting the spookers.
Come on, man. That's worth a like. That's worth a fucking follow, guys. Come on now.
Some Naked Gun for a few minutes before bedtime, because otherwise, I'm like Vern and Stand By Me when he keeps watch by the campfire. Every noise, I'm fucking pointing my gun at it.
Of course. I would need a light on. I would have to watch that in the day. At nighttime, I picture a creepy nightcrawler coming up the windowsill of the fire escape and blowing me. I couldn't handle it.
Well, here's the thing too, because it's summertime. We only have one AC in the bedroom. The living room is like a fucking frying pan. It's brutal in there. So we got the windows open and the curtains pulled back so we don't get any breeze. So it's just, I'm just waiting for someone to pop in the screen. With the AC on, it's too loud, so you can't hear. I mean, someone could come in my back window and just make himself at home, and that's what this guy did. He would make himself at home. He'd drink your milk and eat your cupcakes.
Not the milk.
And fuck you up.
You're losing ground. Move it.
But it's a spooky show, but it also tells the story of the woman, McNamara, who's Tommy's aunt, which is crazy.
Wow. I talked to him
Yeah, great guy, funny guy, and she's like super cool and interesting, and they have phone calls and texts between her and her husband, and then now knowing she passed away, so you know that she's going to pass away, and so you realize she's in her final moments in these phone calls. I mean, it is gripping and touching, and it's a hell of a program. I'm gonna go so far as to say, this is bold.
Oh boy.
Everyone knows Jinx is my #1 all-time television program.
Oh boy.
Besides Seinfeld, which is it's not even a program, it's its own
Different
planet.
anal.
So I'm gonna put this as #2. I'm passing Making a Murderer and Sucking My Dick and all the Strangle Your Wife, all these bullshit shows. Nothing comes close to the Jinx. People keep telling me about the Staircase, like that was gonna compete with the Jinx. I'm like, get out of here with that shit.
Bro, blow my dad. That's done, though.
So I'm putting this #2.
Staircase. All right, wow. #2, huh?
#2, numero duso.
I'm going to guess it's better, because if the Jinx didn't have the tweak at the end, how great would it be?
No.
Fuck to that guy
last
go.
episode's the Jinx is my least favorite. Everything about that show, the music, the mother, and the thing, and the waves, and it's spooky, and it's so fascinating, and funny, and weird, and fucking... The Jinx is the best. Jinx is king.
I don't know, Fatty. We'll discuss this on a
You know what's weird? And I know I have this, obviously, because the Wire, the Sopranos.
Of course.
Those are great. I understand they're great. They're not for me.
There
They're
you
not my
go.
cup of tea. I don't care for the media, which I've been saying for years. I don't like it.
That's alright. This Goog have far better weapons coming out of this Goog. We just gotta kill this son of a bitch.
That show is the worst shit I've ever seen. Her ego is whatever. And I'm watching going, what?
Yeah.
You ever have that when you watch something and then somebody tells you this is garbage and you're like, how can that be? You don't like her?
I know.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to me.
I find that mind-boggling, but I guess it's what makes life jizzy is because people have different thoughts, variety, spice of life, queef it up. Like, I'm such a psycho. I'll read every review on every comment on my special, and one comment will be like, "This is genius level comedy. This guy's awesome," and the next special will be like, "This guy is so bad. This is the least funny thing I've ever seen. This guy should kill himself." And I'm like, man, these are right on top of each other. It's
so
fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what the arts are all about, and
I get. I mean, some guys want a dong in their mouth, and some guys do too. And yeah, it's. I mean, I guess it makes sense because what if you were in love with my wife, or I was
We're
in love
gonna
with
get
your
the
wife,
next
or
one, fellas.
20 people were in
There's
love with
always
your wife,
another
and now you gotta
Warzone.
fight off all them. Like, you like your wife, he likes his wife. You know, it's good that we have different thoughts.
yeah, I mean, definitely, it's just interesting because you want to have a dialogue of like, because everything's so short now. It's tweets, Instagram,
Yep.
text, and you're like, give me a full thing of you watched this and thought this woman's a piece of shit, this thing's a piece of shit. I'm like, mind blowing, but I think it's a hell of a program.
Yeah. Well, speaking of programs, I think
All right, let's check the stats. Best
Well, I
part
have
of
an
the,
official
of the
release
show.
date yet, but it's coming.
I thought you did. Sorry.
It's I do, but it's not a, you know what I mean? It's not a thing yet, so I don't know what the fuck. It's coming. I could tell you this.
We
right?
have nobody other than me watching the
Which is exciting.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
Comedy Central.
YouTube. To be expected. Nothing wrong with that. All right. On to Rumble. 8 people watching Rumble. Pretty dope. Oh, 46 followers? Did I get a new follower on Rumble? That's crazy. Rumble takes 10 billion years to tell you who the fuck followed you, though. So I appreciate it, whoever you are. And let's go on down to Kick. Same thing as YouTube. Nobody other than me. I did get a weird, looks like a bot comment, but I appreciate it. And I got a follower. Probably that bot. Who cares? Much appreciated. If any of you have bot farms, throw some bots my way. Would be much appreciated. Alright, let's fucking get at
Enemies
least
are
top
dropping
10.
into the area. Watch the skies.
Back to the show.
So this, you can go check that out. And people are commenting on that. This is 20 minutes. Like the name of the show is the half hour. Had commercials.
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
Sorry.
I guess it's kind of a compliment because they're like, oh, I wanted more, or this is too short.
Get that
but
bird
still, it's
spinning.
like, hey,
Finish up. We're airborne in 3. Gang's all here.
These commenters. they're
Word
brutal,
came
and I
down.
just
We are
feel
green
so
to go.
grateful
So
for the
gear up,
people that
grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone.
They're like, hey,
Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
see you later. We're like, hey, thanks.
I'll see you on the other side. Battle Royale.
Like, what a good egg.
Yeah, you appreciate that. There's some guy, I mean, that's so negative.
Gas is approaching on your position. Move to the safe zone.
contract.
Enemies dropping into the AO.
You beg for money on Patreon, and yet you buy a car in full. And I'm like, I bought a fucking used Century. I'm not riding around. And I just say, the Patreon, you're purchasing material. You're not donating money to us.
Right. Yeah. Content.
entertainment.
Yes.
And we
Who would do that?
mentioned for 1 minute at the end of the show, for $5 a month, you
Or
can
less.
get way more material of this
Right.
thing. Are you emailing Netflix, who's actual billionaires, being like, hey, fuck you?
Gas
You
is
bought a car-
moving.
I bought a used car. I'm a poor person who made enough money over the course of 5 years. I've made money for 5 years.
Bounty
of my
targets
life.
identified.
My parents
Weapons
are
free.
poor. I was poor. My electricity got shut off. I fucking gambled a whole life. No
Yeah.
security. I lived with 3 roommates in a 14-foot by 7-foot room for 9 years. Fuck you, you fucking
Yeah.
loser.
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy to me. I'm not begging for money. I'm mentioning that if you'd like, similar to Netflix and Hulu, that you have 9 of cable, I'm sure you do all this shit. You can get
Yeah.
more shit, you fucking douche.
Yes, here. I mean, yeah, it's so funny. I think people expect us to be loaded. I'm like, we got specials on YouTube. You can put a special on YouTube. It pays shit. I'm getting yelled at on the road because I'm doing gigs. I gotta pay the rent. I'm a road comic. This is my income. So yeah, thank God for Patreon. Thank God for porn and Jehovah's Witnesses and all that. But yeah, it's tough out there. We're trying to make it work. And we're
Yeah, if you
putting
don't
out
have money,
content.
don't join the Patreon.
I know.
No one's
I
making
know.
you join the Patreon. Enjoy your tons of free entertainment.
Yep. Here. Don't get COVID.
I know. It's like,
Oh, but
it's.
oh
funny.
boy,
I mean,
don't
someone
think this is
pointed
gonna
out in
work
the
out.
comments to him, but I'm like,
Already halfway dead.
this is-
Less than halfway
it's
dead.
you.
Yeah.
Super
It's
dead.
like, I'm not fucking rolling in it. And I bought it with savings. I had a bunch of money saved up from the fucking 4 years I made money.
Yeah. I don't want to bark up your ankle, but I think you went stock, right? That ain't fully loaded.
No, I don't even know what the fuck it is. I wanted a car. I got a car. And,
It's not leather, it's not heated seats, no sunroof, it doesn't have a change purse or a cup holder.
yeah, it's a whatever car. And meanwhile, I'm like, half these Patreons, these guys are making 90 grand a day. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I know,
But,
Jesus.
I also have a wife that makes no money. My family doesn't make money. I spread the money around. I'm a fucking like this. Is
My wife is
my
bullshit.
shorts, you loser.
Eat my sh-
I haven't heard that term since '88. I love it.
It's just goofballs, and again, it's like the American dream. I'm like a fucking blue collar guy that pushed all his chips in to pay some fucking dick jokes to people like. I got enough money to buy a used car. I'm like
I
a
know.
fucking Springsteen song, and you're like, get out of here, you fucking rich cunt. I've gotten a couple messages like that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. And
Wow.
I'm like, go fucking beat it. Meanwhile, my partner over here just bought a second
Hello?
Greenwich Village home. I'm like, go text you.
Renting.
All right, well,
also,
whatever.
The other one is pending, so I'm hemorrhaging money.
I know, but you know,
That's
I'm
my
like,
fault.
Hello?
I got a used car. I'm getting shit like I'm fucking Daddy Warbucks over here.
I know. Have they seen your haircut? What the hell?
My wife's cutting my hair.
Guess I'm being too loud for the baby.
Friendly loadout drops on the way. We lost track of the bounty target.
Gonna have
Contract
to
failed.
Evidently.
Sorry.
I know. I'm like,
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Took a turn, huh?
Ah, fuck. That was a burst rifle.
You fucking loser.
We'll be right
Whatever.
back.
I'll get 40 messages about that. But anyways, yeah, I'm not rich. I'm fucking doing the best I can out here.
Yeah. We're trying, folks. We're all struggling. This is a kooky time, and who knows if we'll ever get out of it. Maybe we'll all just move to Italy. They seem to have it together.
Are they better now? Because for a while they were like, we don't want to be Italy.
Yeah, they were. Picture their graveyard they had to make for the COVID people. I was like, good God, that was a touch of reality.
Yeah, you never know what's going on here because, you know, one day there's a freezer truck and an ice rink, and then they don't mention the ice rink. Who knows what's going on?
I don't know anything about ice. I do know that Ice Bucket Challenge, but this is supposed to be the Summer Olympics. Supposed to be
Ah, you love it.
Right, but,
what
dumb.
bummer is that?
what can you do? Well, we got baseball back. I'm thrilled about that. Last night, good for the soul. I felt it through my bones, in my veins. Now batting, I'm
Moving here.
Yeah, you feel it feels a
Cancel
sense of
that.
normalcy.
Marking
That's how I
contract.
feel on stage or on a flight. I'm like, even though I'm wearing a mask, it's just in that there of
it's flipped. I'm in New York now. I'm like, stay out here.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
Now it's flipped. Nobody's come to New York right now.
Yeah. Fucking big fat bummer town, and I wanted to go back, and also just the internet is getting so angry because I think people are just pent up and fucking rage fueled, and people are running out of money, and the computer's right there, so it's all a bummer. It's all bad news.
Right. But I heard some of the HDC or HQ or ABC, somebody has a fucking treatment coming, and then someone else has a vaccine coming, January 2021. Things coming.
I hope I can't buy in anymore because I get my hopes up and they go, hey, the vaccine.
Can't believe that
if you
fucking
cut into
worked.
it, it's actually a cake, and things are getting better, and I think we'll be out of this, and Fauci's gay, and he's throwing the first pitch out. And then they go 2 weeks later, they go, everything fell through. Donald Trump took a shit on a woman's chest, and Barron is dead, and the White House is crumbling. Biden's off the rails. I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, the news is no good. You can't watch it. Every once in a while, I'm like, let me just dip in, see what's shaking, and whew, it is ugly.
Yeah, it's a bummer. The whole
I
thing's
think
a bummer.
we'll be fine. They're gonna get the bill, get some more.
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
It's a hard time.
Yes, hard time. What do you know about the Hong Kong flu?
I don't know what that is.
In 1969, there was the Hong Kong flu. It killed about 1 million people. This is during Woodstock. This is during MLK. Well, he died in 68. But it was, it's...
Marking contract.
Shit's going down. You never saw one photo of a mask or anything. Big pandemic.
I don't know much about that.
Isn't that weird? Just there's a huge pandemic, kills 1 million people. Just no one brings it up. No one. Your parents.
Bounty targets are up. Get after them.
But did it kill 1 million people in
Gas
China
is
or
moving
Hong
in.
Kong?
New safe zone located.
Worldwide.
Interesting. That couldn't have killed that many people in America.
Weird that this one caught and is so crazy and killing everybody, but the other one in 1969 just kind of came and went. Nobody talks about it.
I gotta do some research. I don't know much about it.
Give it a Google and let me know what sticks up your urethra.
All right, I'll do some Googling. We gotta wrap it up here. My back hurts. I gotta get a better place to podcast. I sit in the bed and I slowly slouch.
Yeah,
Dr. Slouchy.
Office chair is good. Stack a couple of books. Throw the laptop on a desk and take your pants off.
Well, what do you got going on? I got that Royersford gig this Friday. Holy shit! I might drive to it.
Gas is closing in.
Steve Rogers, Soul Joel Comedy Club and Lounge, and it's this Friday night in Royersford. I can't say that. I guess I can, but it's a weird sounding name.
Tough word, yeah. Royersford. I'm there on the 5th, so I'm gonna be picking your butthole about how that goes, and I hear it's killer. John Donnelly said it was great, and it's a good setup and socially queefy and all that. So
all bounty targets are KIA. Well done.
All over the country in the bus, and you got to check out his promo video on his Instagram. If you haven't seen this guy, I mean, he's living the life. He's out there shooting a bow and arrow. He's whitewater rafting, and he's hanging out, and the gigs look amazing. Everybody's tailgating all day, and he's finger painting. He's got his shirt off. He's got a slingshot. It just looks incredible.
I'll check it out. I love Bert. I'll just reach out when stuff comes out. I gotta do that thing where you reach out to everybody you've ever met and ask them to do their show and stuff.
They hit us hard that time. Let's regroup and get back up there, yo.
It's an off-air story.
Love an AOS.
But yeah, big things coming. Join the Patreon if you have the means.
Yes, don't yell at us for no reason.
You don't have to join the Patreon. You can get some enjoyment from us, more of it, and you'd also be helping us.
Yes, there you go. No pressure, no gun to your head there, folks. Live your life and keep it classy.
Yeah, I also want to say thanks to the 75 people that messaged me and were like, hey, fuck that guy, you're great. One guy, how about this? One guy Venmo'd me, and he's like, here's $10 for gas. fuck that asshole. Enjoy the new car. Congrats. I was touched. I got a twinkle, a tear in my eye.
That guy's a fucking mensch. Wow, that guy. I wish you knew his name. We gotta give him a shout out.
And part of this, by the way, is all this internal thing of wanting to impress your parents. You feel like an adult. I've never made a decision and bought a thing or had money to buy anything. And my first car, I own a car. I've driven nothing but hand-me-downs from dead grandparents. I literally ran out of dead grandparents. So I'm like, I'll never have a car again because I have no other grandparents to die. And get their shitty 87 Buick Century was my fucking previous car, you fuckstick. And yeah, you just feel good. And so I get triggered because some asshole thinks I'm fucking, you know, fucking, who's that guy that raped all the kids there?
Cosby.
No, the kids. Epstein thinks I'm Jeffrey Epstein with my own private island.
Right.
My own private Idaho. But any jizz. Now back to that again. Sorry, I got triggered.
No, I get it. It's definitely hit a nerve in your cooter there. I see.
Yeah, well.
I get
Anyways.
it. Good for you. You bought a car. It's a huge accomplishment. You should be proud of yourself. You should be happy. And fuck that guy. And drive like the wind, I say, fatty.
Oh, I'm driving, baby. But anyways, I don't remember what I was going to say, but anything. But check out my half hour on Comedy Central's YouTube. Subscribe to my
Use this
YouTube.
time for some target practice.
Keep an eye out. I'll be on
Real
some
things coming
podcasts
soon.
up. And check out my other podcast, Mindful Metal Jacket, also free. A lot of work for free.
Yep.
And yeah, check it all out.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Instagram, stream our old albums, and you know, that's it.
Yeah.
Next
Hey Mark, fake band
pod
intro.
engaged.
That's all I know how to do.
Up to 9 people
Stories.
on the Rumble. Rumble's always holding it down.
Fell out of his bag.
Enemies dropping into
Love
the
to see it.
AO.
Let's get in the chat, fellas.
All stations,
Get
we
these
are
likes
green
up.
to go.
Let's get
Stand
these
by for
follows up,
deployment.
fellas.
Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah. This
Run for
Tuesday's
dust
stories,
off. We're up
everybody.
in 3 mics. Let's move. Here we are. Head shed gave the green light. We're deploying you to the front lines.
Hey,
You're up.
everybody,
Grab your
welcome
shoots.
to another
Rules of engagement are simple.
Tuesdays with
Weapons
Stories.
free on all threats.
Joe List. And over there
I'll see you on the other side.
I don't know how they're set.
Battle Royale.
How's it split on YouTube?
I don't know. Shelby goes back.
Gas is closing on your
Right
position.
here.
Suggest you hightail it out of
Cancel
there.
that. Marking contract.
Oh, shit. You go one way, the other way.
Yeah.
Hey, I was thinking, your big rant.
I would normally float all the way over there, but for this stream's sake. Because I love you, fellas.
Bad money to that guy on CNBC.
Let's just go
or
kill
whatever.
this fucking douche.
I don't want to be the rant guy. I like being I fucking hate rants. You're a rant. They're a bunch of fucking assholes. They're a bunch of guns. You're a gun.
You rant about rant?
I know, that was the bit. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few rants out there, but Rant Hill, Rant Farm, just
There you go. Rant uncle.
Half hour later, I'm like, what am I doing? Who
Gas is inbound.
Fight with a guy, and you hit him in the face, and you're like, you always hit the guy, then you feel bad.
Bro, what the fuck?
Target destroyed. Deploying supply drop to your location.
I'm sorry. Shit. Me too. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to fight. Everybody's so confrontational now. It's all these comments and DMs and kill yourself and fuck you, and I don't. This is new. This is all kooky, and I hate it all. Can't we just jerk each other off a little?
Can't we all just get along?
Get a dong.
Who's that? Red and Rodney King. Which one
Good
said it?
restaurant.
I think King said it.
Yes, he said it. He had like an eyeball hanging out, and he was bleeding. He's like, "Can't we all just get along?"
Yeah, it's funny because I was a kid then, and I never saw the actual video. I just saw the in living color. I didn't know that really happened.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird when you see things, you only see the spoof.
Right. Yeah, good point. I saw a lot of SNLs. Like I saw Norm talking about OJ being a murderer, and I was like, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I'm trying to think of other sketches, but there's a lot of things like that you're like, oh, I just thought it was funny on its own. I didn't know about that thing.
Yeah, maybe I think as kids we were sheltered a little because we didn't watch the news as a 9-year-old. I mean, I know I didn't. I thought it was so boring. But now with Twitter and Anal and all the Grindr and OnlyFans, these kids are seeing everything like front and center. Horrible shit.
I think so. Hopefully they're protected a little bit. But I talk about this about my family. My family is so bad at protecting the kid. Like we'll have a big barbecue or whatever, and they're just talking about, because everyone drinks in my family. Everyone's like, "Did you see that guy that raped the 40 women? That was wild." And then like, you know, little Cody's just trembling. He's like, "What?"
Right.
They're like, yeah, people break into your house, and I've seen it happen in my family. I mean, I don't want to name names, but it's like, yeah, there's a guy on the loose up in Maine. He breaks into houses and he fucks the kids.
Yeah.
And you're like, shut up, just shut up. Talk about fucking.
Fuck.
I didn't know.
That was embarrassing.
It
was bad.
You know, like, ironically, as a kid, you should know about pedophiles because they're in the demo. But like, I didn't know what a pedophile was.
You're the demo.
You know, you go trick or treating, and my dad was like, "All right, have fun out there." And my mom was like, "What are you kidding? He's gonna get put in a van," you know. And I was like, "Why would somebody put me in a van?" I didn't get it.
Well, see, they didn't tell us about the sex, but we were told we did have a secret word: chocolate chip ice cream. That was like if someone offers to pick you up. But I do remember, I tried to do a bit about this a long time ago, that to be safe with your kids, you have to fuck them up a little bit.
I guess so, yeah.
Because you just spread that idea of like, hey, you go down the road in case someone tries to pick you up, and I'm like, who's gonna try to pick me up? What?
Right. But then
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
I just thought, what the fuck? And I also was like clever enough or whatever to think, what if that doesn't? What if he doesn't ask me a question? What if he just picks me up and runs away with me?
Or down at the park, but nobody ever talked about getting
Shoot the nibbles.
or napped. Napped is the only time. You know, when it's a kid, it's the only time napped means taken away.
Yeah, he napped me.
Yeah, there's no adult napped or power napped. You know, it's just kidnapped. That's it.
Yeah, you never nap, you know, a candy bar from the store.
Right. I've napped many bars at the airport.
What is that word? Nap, kidnap.
I think as it softens it, kidnap. It almost sounds cute.
Yes, it's like a snack.
Right. But
You got gas
funny thing,
moving
I
in.
was a kid, and I remember we had this friend JP, and his dad used to beat the shit out of him. His brother beat the shit out of him. His brother's name was Travis. They were real white trash. They wore wife beaters and tough dudes. And one time, my friend JP was dating a girl, and that was a big
Your
deal.
objective
We were like 14.
simple.
He was fucking
Eliminate
some
all
girls.
bounty targets.
And we went to go meet his girlfriend. That's what you did back then. Whoever had a girlfriend, you just followed him.
shit, sorry
He's like,
about
"I'm gonna go see
that."
My girlfriend. You go, great, we'll go. And so we went to his girlfriend's neighborhood, and there was a bunch of cops surrounding this area, and they're like,
Oh, you done killed this fool.
"Are you escaping or something?"
Bro, I thought he was the king.
I don't care. I'm going in. I gotta see my girl. And we were like, JP, no! And the cops are like, son, this is serious. You're 11 years old. There's a fucking murderer in that suburb somewhere. And he was like, blow me, copper. I'm going in. And we were like, no! And he went in.
Wow, I didn't even get laid, even at that age.
I guess so, yeah. But I think the severity of it. Now you're so young, you're like, he'll be fine. What's a murder anyway? I've seen TV.
But I remember going to see, like, you know, Candyman. I thought there was going to be a crazy black guy in a mirror with a knife. And then, you know, we would drive through neighborhoods where my mother would be like, oh, lock the door. Everyone lock the door up. And you'd be like, well, someone's going to open the door? What?
Yes.
There was a lot of fear penetrating my asshole at the time. And occasionally the news would slip on or whatever, but like earthquake. Like I was a big baseball guy in '89. There was a big earthquake, so I became afraid of earthquakes. And
I love the idea of a cute with your big old glasses on. You're look at the TV and you're like,
just smoked out that fucking. I smoked.
I figured you came out the womb with a couple of lens grabbers on.
No, for a while I did comedy, no glasses, and for a minute I had the Sinatra hat, like cocked to the side. I had Sinatra face. What? On stage.
Get out of here!
Oh yeah, like I was into the Rat Pack when I was 18. I wanted to live and drink whiskey and smoke, and it was like cocked over here, over the side of my head. I was like a crooner. I did about 4 or 5 sets like that. Except the hat I had was, it wasn't a good Sinatra. It was more like Indiana Jones.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
So it just looked shitty, but I thought I would be like, after a big applause, I'd tip it.
Ah, God, you're killing me here. I'm jizzing. This is so uncomfortable.
I think there's photos of it, and I look back, and I'm like, I must have been such a disappointment to my family. They're like, I'm done with my fucking fruitcake. Wearing a dumb hat. He thinks he looks like Sinatra.
It's a valiant
he looks
effort.
like Indiana, and it's just, garbage, embarrassing. Plus, I had like pimples, and my face was all red because I was a drunk. It was terrible.
Right. We gotta find those photos. We gotta get those on the Patreon. But how did you started comedy in Beantown. How did you not walk in and 8 alpha males go, what the fuck's this dude with the hat? Then take it off and they throw it across the room. Then you're jumping up trying to catch it.
Yeah, that wasn't far off. I think maybe
10 people on the Rumble.
like I said, a couple sets.
Let's get the likes up. Let's get the follows up.
That's ridiculous. Or
Yeah.
what are you doing up there? But also when you're like really
Let's
new,
see
you're at open
here.
mics and everyone else is pretty new, and so it wasn't
Howdy,
like I was hanging out
565
with,
followed about
you know,
26 minutes ago.
20 and
Appreciate it.
Like I wasn't around high rollers at the time. It was a bunch of other schmuckheads and homeless people.
Right. Well, I got scolded so bad when I started comedy because the big guys, like the high rollers, as you say, were like these big black guys. One guy was named Red Bean. We had Cornbread. We had Carrie B. You know, this is New Orleans. And I showed up in flip-flops one day, and they were like, look at this fucking honky in the flops, you know. Never wore flip-flops again. Then I showed up another day in shorts, and they were like, look at those fucking chicken legs, you fucking cracker, whatever, and never did that again.
Yeah, it's a learning process. But I was just thinking about that, where somebody, I forget who I was talking to or I saw. I can't remember what it was. I can't put my finger on it, but it was somebody, and I just
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly.
I know. I put a blazer on once and got
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Yeah, so good. Anything gold. Sarah has a really funny bit about if you want to wear a new hat, she's like, I got
Alright, we're gonna take this one seriously, fellas. Let's get this dub. First dub of the night.
Great, that's great.
Because otherwise, you show up, you're like, fucking gay hat, like that, you can't, what are you trying to do?
Exactly, yeah.
Prep time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
So if you have anything out of the ordinary, like even a haircut, we'll call out because we're just
Prep
like,
for dust
I need
off.
something.
We're up in 3 mics.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
move.
that's part of the reason
Here we are.
I've never changed.
Head shed gave the
stylistically
green
ever
light.
once in my
We're
life.
deploying you
My
to the
entire
front
adult
lines.
life has been-
You're up. Grab your shoots.
Before that, all my high
You are
school
cleared
friends
hot
were
on all
like,
threats. Watch your ass down there.
fuck you, you fucking gay, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've just always been afraid to go
Let's roll. Battle Royale.
One time I was walking to the cellar, I was eating an apple, and I was like, let me finish this before I go in, or else I'll be Johnny Appleseed. Or,
Gas is approaching on your position. Move to the safe zone.
Nazi, like, what? It's an apple.
Yeah, it's no good. Sunday, last, whatever it was, Bob Kelly.
Marking contract.
And it was just machine. Everyone was getting in. I don't want to name names, but it's like, look, they came to the way. How you look great. You guys talking about she's fat, she's a fat bitch. And then was like, fuck you, Keith. He's like, I'm telling my truth. Like, I thought we were telling the truth. Are we truth tellers or what? He's like, you got steady on, you're fat, it was refreshing though to be around real shitting on. But I mean, this wasn't even ball busting. It was just like, you're fat, you're fat, you're a fat person.
don't lie, fatty. I mean, it's all right there. And sadly and weirdly, as scary as that ball busting was, when I see it or hear it, I'm like,
You're losing ground. Move it.
We talk about safe spaces all day. Safe spaces scare the shit out of me. Because if I say, or something, I feel like I'm gonna get, scrubbed out of existence and, society. But if you call me a homo and then kick me in the balls and talk about my shoes, I'm like, all right, I feel safe here.
You want a safe space.
There it is.
You want to be able to say whatever. And hanging out with our crew and comics in the cellar, the worst you're gonna get is, oh, come on, man. You get like a dude.
Come on, man.
Right.
Jesus. There's that kind of thing. Or you kind of get like a, all right, that's a little, and you're like, okay, sorry, just wanted to.
Yeah. I remember, I'm not going to say any names, but it's somebody we all, listening knows who this is. But we all have gone too far. We're constantly with each other. And one guy was like, well, that's why your dad's dead. To his father. And he was like, please, come on, man. And that was it. It was his dead father. And he was like, all right, what the hell? We went too far. Sorry. And that was it. But then you say, Jew.
These people
and we
need.
do a press conference. The dad was way worse, but yet that got like, all right. Never brought up.
That is kind of a douchey fucking tactic, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Figures it out.
Yeah, well, I guess it's all in people's preference or how they want to be and live. And I understand some people don't want to live that way.
Marking
Some people don't wanna
contract.
walk in and be like, hey, fucking bald-headed douchebag. Your mother sucks dick. It's fun. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's where we feel comfortable and enjoy it.
Yeah, but it feels like our side, or not our side, but our group loses.
Marking
immediately.
contract.
Like their side, they're just saying that is wrong and that's final and that's definition official. Yours, whatever.
Well, it makes it have to go into these certain spaces. This is where it gets tricky with social media. Because what happens is, and this has been discussed obviously before, maybe here, other places. But what happens in comedy when comics get into trouble is because, like our podcast, for instance, is a safe space for people that are into this kind of talking, reference and comedy and crazy. But if you took it and shot it out into the universe, other people here, they're like, what the fuck is this? I mean, like, everyone here is signed into, like, we're going to say crazy shit, and it's fun, and we're irreverent, and we talk about, blowing our fathers, and kids getting sex, all that shit. But when you take it out of context, like Tracy Morgan had the where it was like, I can't believe
Bounty
he said
targets
this, and when he
identified.
said this,
Weapons
like, well,
free.
He said it in a basement comedy club. And people paid money.
You got a loadout drop inbound.
Crazy shit happened.
Right.
And you took it and put it on the fucking NBC News at 6:30.
Yes.
And of course you're not supposed to say it on the news.
Of course. And if you notice, when he's set in the comedy club, the whole room erupts in laughter.
Gas
So
is inbound.
obviously,
Marking a new
those
safe
people
zone.
aren't upset. So what's the problem?
Right. So I do try to be respectful of the people that want that and don't want that. I mean, I'm at the cellar and, I don't know who, but some comic comes in. I'm not like, yeah, you fucking douche. Nice shoes, you asshole. But if Soder tries to bring a new pair of Nikes in, we're going to go, what the fuck is this, you fucking idiot? You got your band t-shirt on. That band stinks. You stink. You've never even heard that band. Fuck you. Whatever. But I'm not calling anybody a fucking, whore or whatever.
Yeah.
So I understand the being mindful of it, but then they have this idea that comedy is supposed to be a safe space, or comedy clubs.
Right.
With that, which physically it should be a safe space, but this idea of joke safety.
Kooky. Yeah. I guess the word is know your surroundings and know your audience. That's kind of the rule.
You got gas
I'm not gonna
moving
tell
in.
my grandma to eat my ass, but I'll tell my friend to eat my ass.
Yeah, and it's hard to find out if you have like little signals because some grandmas want to eat young ass.
That's true. Yeah, it's like a Kenter thing, like.
Right. Yeah. Call me gay if I say I like Francis Ha. Right.
Yeah. But I think we're very. I'm working on a bit about this. I think Tinder date and a one-night stand with this girl, and it was a great date. We like really hit it off, really connected, and we're post-coital. We're laying in the bedroom under the covers, naked, and she was like, "Your Tinder photo, you look like a serial killer," and it like hurt my feelings because I was like, "Jesus Christ, all right, it's done." And she goes, "What do you think about my picture?" And I was like, "Well, if we're being honest, I thought you looked easy." And she flipped out, like threw the covers off, you know, putting the shoes on in a huff. And I was like, "But wait a minute, your thing is worse. You said I look like a murderer. I'm saying you look like you're easy. I'm easy. You're easy. What's wrong with being easy? Like, aren't you kind of slut-shaming yourself a little bit here? Like, there's nothing wrong with being easy. Serial killer, I'm a murderer." So in my mind, I was like, "You're the mean one."
It's interesting because you're obviously not a serial killer. It seems like perhaps she is. In fact, using her nerve.
That's the bit. Yeah, I think the point is I said something that was real. She didn't.
We lost that son of a bitch. Bounty
But
contract's been
that's interesting
pulled.
to be psychologically why that hits a nerve. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, that is interesting. But I would say you could counter with, well, that's not hurtful to me. Obviously, I'm not a serial killer. Also, by the way, hers is very generic. Where you're like, you look like a serial killer. I'm like, well, these serial killers of all kinds of people. Look like a serial killer.
Yeah.
I always like this. What serial killer do I look like?
I know. I don't know what that. Ladies say that a lot, like about guys. You know, they'll be like, "Look at this guy I'm going on a date with. Looks like a serial killer." I'm like, "Well, how do you know? Like, why are you going on a date with him? And what does a serial killer look like?" You got Joel Rifkin, then you got Manson, then you got whatever his name is. Berkowitz. Yeah, he's a big fat Jew up in the Bronx. And then you got, like, you know, Casey, who's in a clown suit. So yeah, they run the gam.
Gas is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
Hacky thing now to say serial killer.
It's a little hacky, yeah.
Cash drop is en route.
Because of the road.
Bounty targets marked. Kill them all.
School shooter this.
Yeah, guy with glasses, immediately a school shooter.
Yeah, for a while it was Harry Potter. It went from Harry Potter to school shooter. So maybe it's good that we're getting a little more reference.
A little darker, yeah.
Whatever.
Well, speaking of a reference, I got a couple of nuggets for you there, Patty.
Yeah, put them in my ass, see if I can.
So, you know, I'm climbing the walls here. You know, I like to keep busy, keep it shaking, keep it moving, keep it queefing. So last night I locked up two outdoor shows. I said, let's do it, baby. I'll get the hog out, and one was in Battery Park, which I think you're doing tonight.
I'm doing Central Park.
Oh, okay. Battery Park was tough. And then I had a show in Fort Greene. So I said, I'm going to go to Battery Park and hoof it up to Fort Greene on the scooter.
Gas is inbound.
And you get to Battery Park. Beautiful park. Underused park. It was gorgeous. It's called like the Frank N. Park or something. You can see the Statue of Liberty right out there. The sun was setting. The water's beautiful. It was just, it's a hidden gem in New York. Nobody utilizes this park. So they're like, all right, you're going to go on last. A couple Tuesdays showed up, which was nice. Slow-Mo and a couple other cats. And I have to go on last. And the guy running it goes, just to give you a heads up, that group over there is a jazz band. And they said they want to start playing soon. So we're going to try to get you up before they start playing. And I was like, here we go. Here it comes. These outdoor shows are a kick in the taint already. Now a band might play? I mean, come on. So, sure as my asshole smells like cheese, call my name, and
Primary objective complete. All targets eliminated.
Fucking trumpet right here. And I was like, you have no microphone. So I'm like, so Uber, huh? You know, brutal, just trying to yell, and the whole thing's ruined, and now I'm just riffing on the band because it's the elephant in the asshole, and it was a long 12 minutes.
Did you try to work with the band?
Enemy
at all?
soldier
You know,
incoming.
Mike Fenoya had that gig where you do comedy with the band.
That's
and you're
true.
like, I was walking.
What?
We lost that one, but we'll get those sumbitches next time.
Pause. I get her. And everybody thinks I'm gonna. I get her. Wah. So I couldn't
Did anybody hear a fucking parachute?
map it out.
Yeah, that's tough to map because if you have a band working with you,
Here.
Yes.
it's
What?
quite fun because you can be like, and then it got crazy, and then they're like,
Yes.
whatever, they get it going for you. But if they're just whomping and whacking forget about it. But it must have been fun for at least a few seconds when you walked up to Jazz.
And I
'cause it
get
feels like a late-
podcast
or an
going.
old school late night.
I guess, but again, if you have the host has no mic, I have no mic, so it's just like, please welcome, because now the
Right.
band is covering the sound, and these poor people had to fake laugh and be nice, and they were smiling, but they're off in the distance too. It's a wide field, so you got the guy in front of you, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's tough in general. I'm doing one tonight. I did one the other day. There's something funny about Greg Stone pointed this out. All the people that used to have shitty gigs are like thriving because all the gigs are shitty now. So there's certain like bookers and people that are like, great, a shitty show in bad conditions. I've been doing this for 20 years.
That's a great point, Stoney.
But yeah, the stand-up New York ones are strange because they're in the park, like you said, no mic, and I just did. Well, this is exciting. Thursday. I'll be on WTF with Mark Maron, which was very exciting.
That's big. That's lunch.
It's exciting. I'm a big fan of the show, obviously, yada yada. But we were talking. I was talking about. He's like, "Have you done shows?" I'm like, "I did this outdoor show, this drive-in show, this thing, this show." And he was like, "No, how come? Like, what do you like? Why are you doing that?" And there was a moment where I was like, I really don't know. I hadn't thought about it. Like, it's just because it's to some people they're like, you're doing shows during the day in a park with no microphone for people sitting in the grass. Why? Or people in their car, and I'm like, well, that's a great question. I think I didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
Because it's not for the money. I mean, like, the spot pay is okay, but
Check your weapons, check your gear. We're holding for deployment.
I don't know, and I guess it's just I like telling jokes.
Yeah.
Doing this now. I mean, part of it's like I guess we're doing this, but also it's fun to tell jokes. Even on Zoom, I kind of like the Zoom shows.
I like telling jokes too. It's like the Leno thing. Jokes I never heard. And you wrote it, and it's something to do. What are you gonna eat Velveeta and watch 90 Day Fiance the rest of your life? I'm outdoors. Like I brought my girlfriend, and she was like, "This is kind of nice. It's beautiful out. And it's kind of cool. And it's not as hot. And we're doing something. I got a White Claw in my hand and a booze.
Playtime's over. Stand by for deployment to the war zone.
I'm having a nice night.
Well, that's the thing too is they're kind of judgment-free sets.
I want that bird ready in
Not
3 mics.
so much
Relay
like
those
that,
coordinates.
but I have to say,
There you
last
are.
week I did Bel Air.
We got the green light. You're going to the
It
war
was the
zone.
first time
Grab your gear and
I've
shoot.
done a
You're up in 3.
where I was like,
You are cleared hot on all
that
threats.
joke sucked.
Watch
That
your
kind of
ass
thing.
down there.
The very first one I've done about 10 sets or whatever. It was the first,
Let's get this done. Battle Royale.
Maybe I lost it and I had to have
I know that feeling too well.
Be advised, gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
that.
Be advised, gas drop is inbound.
Marking contract.
I think I might be on that.
Yeah, doing Thursday. But I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. You get a meal. I got good grub. So,
Get that meal.
was on last night and I slept in. So, we do that show. That show is a big waste of time, big piece of garbage. I take some photos. I talked to a Tuesday for like 20 minutes. It was fun. And then I was like, all right, now to get to Fort Greene. Downtown New York. I am legend. I'm the only guy down there. You know, they got those big smokestacks. I'm going through the smoke, you know, through the hog, and I'm cutting through Wall Street and all those
Gas is closing in.
buildings. You get up on that Brooklyn Bridge. It's the wooden planks. You know, you're up on the hog. You got the whole city, Jerry, just right there. And it's the sun is setting. It's crazy. Then you get to Brooklyn, and everything gets real dark and sad and scary. You know. And this show is it's like the Myrtle
You know.
Project.
Be advised, there's an enemy
Murder
squad
Act,
gunning for you.
Jay-Z, the whole thing. So
Positive
I used to
ID on the
live around
bounty
there
targets.
in
Hunt 'em
08,
down.
07, and it was dicey. And now it's like white chicks jogging in a cupcake shop. It's still the project, but it's homogenized. What do you call it? It's diverse.
It's a different project now.
Is it?
Project Runway.
Yeah.
Gentrified.
Hey,
Come on,
write
guys.
that down. So yeah, so I go into this park and like there's a bunch of guys grilling and hanging out and shooting dice and the whole thing, and I get it to this. It's this big set of stairs, and all the audience is sitting on the stairs, and you're on the bottom. And you actually have a microphone that has mechanics with a spotlight on you, and it's a hot crowd. It's probably like 60 people. It's hot.
Yeah,
So-
I think I'm doing that show next week. It looks good. He showed me the photos. I was supposed to do it this week. I couldn't do it, but those photos, I was like, this looks magical.
It was great. Some guy Santiago does it. He looks
Yes,
kind of like
yeah,
a hipster Weird Al.
That's
And
the guy, yeah.
And so I show up, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go on in a minute," and it's packed. Everybody's killing, and the one guy's on stage. I don't want to say his name, but he's doing well, and he starts making Chris Brown jokes. And this guy in the back goes, "Fuck you, Chris Brown's great." And he's like, "Really? You're defending Chris Brown?" And he's kind of having a back and forth with this guy. I look up at the guy. He's shirtless. With a big old fluff of come on, shut up, suck my dick, whatever. And the guy's like, fuck you, I'll kill you. I'll fight you. And he was like, all right, whatever, let me do my jokes. And he's going back and forth, and the guy gets up, and he goes, I will cut you, motherfucker. I just got out of jail. And now everybody's like, ah, shit. And this guy's scared. I mean, this guy means it. He's the real deal. He's not this is not a front. This guy will cut your face. He's the Queen Slasher. He kept saying, this is Brooklyn, motherfucker. This is Brooklyn. I will fuck you up. And the guy's like, who cares? I'm from Atlanta. It doesn't matter where you're from. Shut up. And he's walking down the stairs now. And luckily, nobody's doing a thing. This little beefy guy just gets in front of the guy and goes, hey, take it easy, man. Don't go down any more steps. And the guy's like yelling over the other guy's shoulder. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was bananas.
This is horrifying. I mean,
That was bananas, Jerry.
Gig now. I've seen the photos, but this is a different story altogether.
No,
I mean, I don't want to fight a knife guy.
Do the gig, but here's the clinker. What was so fascinating was it was kind of like this 80% honky in the audience. You know, this is like East Brooklyn.
Wait, what happened?
It was
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Like, I don't fuck around. I'll cut you. I went to jail. Like, so
Marking contract.
because you're like, hey, see, this is reality, folks. Like, I know it's
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
Thank God there was a lady on after, and she's from Brooklyn. She's like, I went to high school a block away, and she had a great rebuttal. She was like, when I was in high school, all the guys were in the fight. This was the fight spot.
Bounty targets
And now,
identified.
obviously
Weapons
it's still in
free.
the air or whatever. And the guy just left eventually, but he was pissed. Like, he would have cleaned that guy's clock without even thinking about it.
That's what's scary about these shows is there's no doorman. You're just in the park. I mean, like, you could have people which says...
All bounty targets are KIA. Well
They
done.
could just come right up and shoot you, stab you, shank you, trick you, moon you. I mean, they could really ruin the show.
Yeah. Soon Yi. You got the guy,
Failure ain't
crazy
Fuck my face.
con guy, and then behind the stage or whatever was a
Yeah,
stump and a junkie, which is like, so it's pretty cool. It was like, boy, this is old school. I got a convict who wants to cut this guy. Then you got the
So
junkie passed out behind you, and then you got a bunch of
Come on,
like
guys.
Brooklyn hipsters.
We're gonna win this
So
next
it's quite a mix.
We're gonna win this
They
next.
don't- these Brooklynites, they don't like dark humor. Like, I made fun of the junkie, that got zilch. I did some dark jokes about race, that got zilch. But then you go, I have anxiety, and they're like, ah, you know.
They're like, okay, we can get on board.
Yeah.
It's your privilege to have anxiety, though, Mark.
Right. It was fascinating. But yeah, that guy he was gonna kill somebody.
That's fucking scary. But I think I'm doing it, so maybe I'll get a story myself. But if that guy shows up, I'm dropping the mic and running home.
Yeah, he meant business, and I was glad I wasn't the guy dealing with it. But it was a sight to see.
Speaking of sights to see, I'll tell you a sight to see. My erection, folks.
Yes, that's a hell of a
nice
thumbprint.
sight to see. I don't know if you like erections, but I'm sure you do. Whether you're man, woman, or child, I'm sure you love them. Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Blue Chew. You know about it. It's the first chewable dick pill. While we're all stuck at home, some of us are out and about now, but maybe when you're out and about, you're meeting ladies and bringing them back home. What's something we could all use a little more of? Human contact. We need it, but sometimes not everything's up to par on the old body. As you age, you get a little older, and you get less vitamin D or whatever. For whatever reason, maybe you just have anxiety, you might be a little short on erections. Well, Blue Chew is the way to go. With Blue Chew, you'll be keeping your loved one a healthy distance, 6 or more inches away, if you know what I mean, folks. I got a real girthy piece, and Blue Chew has the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You can take Blue Chew anytime, day or night, even on a full
Gear up
stomach.
fast. We're about to get evil.
They work up to twice as fast as the pills. Be ready whenever an If you enjoy that kind of thing, we have a but Ruffle, that's it. But we have a Patreon. If you enjoy that kind of thing,
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch
we
the
got
skies.
a bonus episode with Dan Soder, one with Stavros Halkias. We got another. As we sit here and record, we've got another big guest on the docket, but you never know with these Hollywood types.
Yeah, we got a big fish on the reel, but you know, these LA queens, he might jump off the hook, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But right now, he's looking pretty good. We'll see, but he's a real get.
He may or may not be on there. And,
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
When we record, I'm going to really trash him for this. Are you
Get that
available?
bird
I should
spinning.
be.
Finish up. We're airborne in 3.
You should be. That's what I should say.
There
should
you
be
are.
available for this. And he's
We got the
supposed to say,
green light.
"Yeah,
We're
right
going to
up
the war
there.
zone.
Hello."
Grab your gear and shoot.
Amen.
We're up in 3.
That's the most
Enemy
fun
activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Great content. We're in a pandemic. You're at home. Figuring your own.
I'll see you on the other side. Battle Royale.
Well, he's bored in Texas, so we gotta do something.
That's a good name for it.
Gas is closing on your
Marking
position.
contract.
Suggest you hightail it out of there.
Check that.
Enemies dropping into the AO.
Yeah, don't be the guy missing out. You know, when all your teammates jump together in that Facebook page, and everybody's talking about this and that. You don't want to be the chute who's out in the cold.
No, you don't want to be a cold shoot. That's the last thing you want to be. So get in there. I don't know. What else you got to do?
Here, here. So, sloppy. By the way, I heard what a jalopy is. You know what that is? A sloppy jalopy?
No idea.
Somebody wrote in. They said, "Do you know what that is?" I said, "I don't know. Is it a car, a jalopy?" And he said, "No, a sloppy jalopy is a sex term for jizz in your hand and slapping it."
Well, certainly jalopy around before that.
Jalopy. It's kind of like the Houdini or the rusty trombone. It's one of those.
Right, so it's one of those, but that means jalopy must have been around before that.
Yeah, jalopy.
Gas is
You throw
moving.
Sloppy in. Rusty trombone is another thing you throw in a rust.
But what's a jalopy?
I don't know. Call in if you
Your
know what I'm
objective's
talking
simple. Eliminate all bounty
You're
targets.
revealing it.
I'm revealing a sloppy jalopy.
I gotcha. The sloppy matters. I thought that it was just an adjective, like a stinky fart. You wouldn't be like, that's a fart.
No, sloppy
A
lives
fart is
matter.
a fart.
No,
I gotcha.
yeah. Yeah, so that's what this kid said, but who knows? He could be doing those on the street and getting his ass kicked. I don't know if he made that up, but that was the rumor.
All these years I've loved sloppy jalopies. I had no idea.
That's how you get the Rona, is somebody hitting you in the face with their own semen. But how about this? So I've told you about the hobos are running rampant out here. It's Thunderdome with the derelicts.
Oh, I've been down there. I was at the cellar the other night. That one woman with the short hair, you know, that little lady that's there.
Yes.
We've seen her together. I mean, she makes like 6 visits every 10 minutes.
I know. She must be cleaning up or not cleaning up. I can't tell, but she's just making the rounds all day. She hits you up. I'm like, hey, I'm the same. She must look at like people like the background of an old cartoon. You know, it's just the same shit in the background.
Yeah, and by the way, she hasn't cleaned up in a while from the footage I've seen. I mean, she is a lady.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But so
From the
yeah, we're sitting
footage
down
I've seen.
at a nice outdoor establishment having some Thai food, and the
Good
not a
one.
great choice when that tom yum is burning your asshole. But this lady comes up, you know,
Tom Yum
normal.
Bum.
What's that?
Ah, sorry. I said Tom Yum Bum.
Oh, hey, that's a good porn.
Wasn't worth it. I apologize.
That's fine. I don't want to miss a thing. So we're eating our spring roll or whatever, and this lady comes up, normal-looking lady, I don't know, 35, and she's got a little 5-year-old, 6-year-old in tow, and she goes, "Hey, you got $1?" And I pull the old, I got no cash, keep it moving, sister. And she goes, "Well, it's her birthday." And I was like, "Ah, jeez." And the kid looks up with the big eyes and goes, "It's my birthday, I'm 6," or whatever. You're like, "Ah, jeez." And she's planted there. She won't leave. You're at the table, so you can't leave either. And she's like, "It's her birthday." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, all right, well, I don't have any cash." She goes, "I got Cash App. I got Venmo."
Oh.
And I was like, "Jesus Christ." And my
Damn,
gal is a real
lady.
kind-souled queef, so she's like, "All right, what's your Venmo?" And she just pulls her phone out and does this shit. It's got that QR code, you know? And so you hover on the QR code, and we're like, okay. And I'm so mad at this point. I'm so angry that I was just like, "All right, we got it. We'll send it to you. Just keep, let us eat." And she was like, "All right, thank you." And she walks away, and I was like, don't send her a fucking dime. She pushed it. You get the thing, you get the sympathy.
Bounty
the
target's
birthday
gone dark.
I
We
made
lost
up,
the contract.
But once you push it, you're out. You lost your shot.
I agree with the push. And by the way, what are the chances it's the kid's birthday? Just that one day?
Gas is inbound, marking a new safe
Every
zone.
day's her birthday, I'm sure, and it's tricky because there's only so much you can give. So, and then you don't want to play God and be like, not you, but you, but not you, but you. But sometimes you're just eating. You're like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm eating. You got to beat it. And that one lady we were talking about earlier at the cellar or whatever, in the village, I can't tell what's going on there, but it's hard to express. You're like, we're the same people.
I know.
You just talked to us. You were just here 5 minutes ago.
I know. And then the other one is you get hit up 19 times by 17 different hobos, and you want to go, I gave that guy $1. I can't give you $1 too, because I've tried that before, and it doesn't go well. It's like, I know, but I already gave a bunch of people money, and now you're coming up. You're not the first hobo I've seen today. I hate to tell
Marking
you that,
contract.
but it's true.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a tricky thing, and you do. I think we were talking about that before. You wish you could have.
Gas is closing
all
in.
kinds of chips or lights.
Yeah.
And one that's like, I like ball busting. You know, that's right. A pair of nuts, and then one's like, I already gave. It's a trash bag. It's like I already gave money to somebody.
Right.
You know, whatever it is, almost like in college football, you get an interception or whatever. You get a sticker. You fill your helmet.
Oh,
We should
is that
all have
right?
helmets with stickers. You know, I got guy, a hand job stickers. I got 3. I don't mind.
That was just bad. That was bad. I'm not playing loose. Fucking, just the violent speed and momentum yet. You know what I'm saying?
How about this?
Whoa, look at that. I mean, the people at home can't hear this.
Oh, sorry. My dick if you're at home. No, some fan, a Tuesday, sent us a stack of shirts, and he sent me a vintage Larry David headshot. This is like 75 or something.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, so much.
Oh, that's fantastic. What
I don't know who
a
sent
terrible
it.
looking guy.
Oh, hideous man. Probably why he's so funny, because he's got to look at that in the mirror. But whoever sent it, please write in, call in. I want to say a thanks.
How are these people getting your address? What the hell's going on here?
Well, now that I got the place I can't rent, I'm sending. That's my PO box. I'm sending everything over
That's
there.
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Oh. Eventually, someone's going to put it in there. And a picture of a dump.
I know. I'm worried that I'm going to show up over there and fucking, Tuesday 508 fan number 99 is going to be just sleeping at the doorstep.
Yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking, I would say. How's the shopping going, by the way, with that place?
Not good. We've already lowered the price once, and I'm staying to where it is because I can't go down any further. I'll get raped on the mortgage.
I mean, you can use it as an office, I suppose, right?
I guess I could, but we're showing it, so I don't want to be in there, you know, writing the word "cum" on a piece of paper, and some lady comes in. I'm like, oh, hello, don't mind me. You know, she got to see the place.
Well, someone's got to let her in, right? I mean, if you're showing, you put away the cum, you swallow the cum.
I guess you're right. We got a realtor guy. He's a real go-getter. This guy's a chatterbox to say the least, but he's a hell of a realtor. He name drops like you wouldn't believe. He's like, oh, I sold Bono a butt plug last week. I'm like, oh, good for you, you know. But he's a hell of a realtor.
It's such a fascinating job that these jobs, I feel like, I'm sure I'm wrong, because I don't want to be like one of these guys that's like, oh, I can do comedy, I'm funny at the office, my dick's small, and I told my dad about it, and he laughed, or whatever. But a realtor... which doesn't even, I always thought it was a realtor. I can't tell how many syllables are in that word. I don't know what's what.
It's like nuclear. Is it nuclear or nuclear?
I don't know what's going on, and what are we doing with the Ness in Wednesday? Wednesday?
No, it's Wednesday.
I know, but it's Wed, then Ness, then Day.
What are we doing with the Nets?
The Ness is silent.
I don't like a silent Ness, I can tell you that right now.
Silence is violence, baby. I'm telling you.
The N, it's like Brett Favre. The N belongs before the D. I don't know why it's Wednesday. It should be Wednesday.
I think it's just old English, you know, like God be with ye turned into goodbye.
Well, whatever is going on with Wednesday, I'm not happy about it.
All right.
And
Hump
it's
day.
February.
Yeah, that's a whole nother one. Black history. I don't know what's going on.
But anyways, the realtor, I mean, I feel like I could do that. You show up, you walk in, you go, here's the door, this is a nice door, and then you go in, you go, look at, here's the bedroom, it's spacious. And,
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by.
I mean, how hard is it to sell a
I guarantee you can do it. And I think that's why a lot of like people get out of rehab and they're like, I got my real estate license. They put on a pantsuit and a clipboard and they go show off a bunch of places. They make $1 million. Every Tom, Dick, and Queef face is doing real estate.
Well, yeah, the house sells itself. So
All
sure
stations, green light. We are deploying to the war zone.
But it definitely feels.
Deuteronomy.
It definitely feels like.
Prep for
the
dust
house-
off. We're up in 3 mics. Let's move.
Ed Larson, the comedian.
Here you are.
Hey, you gotta see my
We got the
apartment.
green light. We're going to the war zone. Grab your gear and shoot. We're up in 3. Enemy activity will be high. Expect contact early and often.
Right. You can sit with the car. You went in with the car and just said, I'll take it.
Let's get this done.
By the way,
Battle Royale.
problems now by buying things. I don't know where the windshield wipers are. I don't know where the speed stick is.
Keep clear of that gas. Get to the safe zone.
What the hell's going on? I can show you what
Be
I'm
advised,
doing.
Intel has located multiple strongholds.
I'm going to back up. There's a beep and a queef, and I don't know what's what. And we'll get a photo inspection for the insurance company.
Marking contract.
It was so emasculated that the insurance company needs photos to make sure there's no damage or whatever. So I went there to get the photo inspection, and it was so emasculating. It's like a young girl, a Catholic woman, like 22, like, you know. Got sweets in there? And I'm like, I don't know what that is. She's like, you got the leather boots? I'm like, I don't know what that is. She's like, you got the back of the zip? I'm like, I don't know what anything is. I'm like, just go look at it. It's red. That's all I know. You have a registration. It's right there.
Gas is moving.
She's like, you're registered license. This is for the insurance company. She's like, do you know what you're doing here? I'm like, I have no idea. They told me to drive here at 10:30 on Tuesday.
Wow. Well, you should know the registration in case you get pulled over. As a black man, you might get pulled over and you want to have all that ready.
Well, I have that shit in the glove compartment, I think. I stuck that in my ass. I don't know if I need an easy pass, but I'm definitely, I don't know where anything is in the car.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do a fun video of you finding. I want to film you and you going. You're like, oh, here's the turn signal and the wiper fluid jizzes on your face. That could be a fun little you know, Laurel and Hardy.
That's not bad. Hey, it's a fart. Maybe it'll be funny. There we go. It was terrible. It was a little
damn.
snapper. Smells weird, but it's not. So Sorry.
I didn't get anything. But yeah.
Oof, stinks horribly.
Yeah, get the car. Come down to the cellar. We'll share a wing and an ice cream and get a milkshake with 2 straws and live it up. Because what else are we doing with our lives? But yeah, like those cars. I mean, that's why I like old cars. It's got a blinker. It's got a steering wheel. It's got a radio, and that's it. Now they got cruise control, and I don't get heated seats. Who needs a heated seat?
Oh, you're crazy. Have you used one in the winter? They're unbelievable.
I mean, are seats that cold? I just got in the car and been like, God, the
Bounty
fucking
targets are
vinyl.
up.
Jeez,
Get after 'em.
it's freezing my tits off.
Well, it's not the seat that's cold. It's the earth and the life that's cold, but it heats you immediately. It's like laying
I
down on
see.
the hot sun. It's quite nice. You can really toast up quick. What's a fun trick to do in the summer is you slyly hit the passenger seat one, and then let them heat up, and they think they're all fucked up. They think they're having a stroke, and then you go, I got you with the thing.
I guess, but I feel like you put a heated seat on. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up with an electric blanket. That thing warmed you like a fat mom, and I feel like I dozed right off to La La Land.
Well, yeah, I guess you gotta try to stay awake. That's tricky. But some of them, by the way, have the cooling seats. I've been in a fancy car. They got the seats that they blow cool air.
Ooh, I like that. That I like. Because I'm not getting that hot car.
Well, it's the same principle, but no, the seat heat is good.
All right, seat heat is good, but you know what I mean? Like the steering wheel used to be a round wheel with a horn in the middle. Now it's a round wheel with 19 twitches and tweaks and queefs all popping out of it. Little levers.
Well, this thing has a thing I had never heard about, and this is pretty cool. It has a this cruise control, but this is another button that keeps you the same distance behind. Normally, when you got cruise control,
All bounty targets destroyed. Hell of a
One
job.
second, Phil's be right back.
this one just goes, I'm 8 feet behind that guy, and then
That's
you just
genius.
cruise behind that guy.
Hey, some people need that in their human body for a little social dist.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I told you my idea for the car.
Please.
Probably a long time ago. This is probably a rerun, but I think this
Loadout
idea is
drop
good.
headed your way.
The brake light system goes by a tone of red or like a 10 lights that show you how hard the person's hitting the brake.
Like an Amber Alert. It gets dark.
Gas is moving in. New
Exactly.
safe zone
So,
located.
I've definitely talked about this on the pod, but
I don't
if you
remember
just touch a brake slightly, the brake light comes on.
Yes.
The same light that comes on if you slam on the brakes. So how often are you driving and you see brake lights and you go, ah!
Yeah.
And then you realize they're just fucking slowing down a mile per hour. It
Right.
should show the urgency with which they're hitting the brakes.
Interesting. Well, see, I don't see color, so that could be tough. But if you make it like an EQ, like you're saying you show the whole up. What do you call it? Graduating, a gradual rise.
Yeah, like a phone battery, the phone reception
Yes,
thing.
like a Heil.
A vertical, yes.
I see. Oh, that's good, man. I like it.
I've even thought you could have green lights when if they're just cruising, you can. All right, they're put off the accelerator now, so they're slowing down even though they're not braking.
Ooh-wee. That's gold, baby.
This is something. Maybe Elon Musk can take this, and this will be the evidence that I invented it.
The only problem is it'll cut down on aesthetics, because you want a nice sharp brake light, but how big would it have to be to have the variations? Like the EQ.
Well, I don't know, and I think the other issue would be safety, because they'd be like, no, we don't want that. We want people to fucking brake when they see it.
That's a good point as well.
Because they teach you in driving, if you see red, you should be covering the brake at the very least. You should be
Right.
slowing down in some way.
Yeah. You know why
Whatever.
it's red? I learned this from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Miscarriage, basically. You see, your brain thinks blood, and it just thinks like, oh shit, bad problem. That's why traffic lights are red that say stop.
Is that true?
That's what he said.
Wow, no kidding. Wow.
Yeah, so he also said that means if our blood was green, red would mean go, and green would be stop.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. I like that guy. Well, I did his radio show, whatever it's called, Cosmos. I was pretty blue, and he was not into it.
Yeah, he didn't like nice shit either. I don't know. I mean, I walked over, he had a little puss on his face, and it was a bummer, but what can you do?
He does all the fun podcasts.
Positive ID on the bounty targets. Hunt them down.
Being offended or anything.
I don't know if he was offended. I just thought I stunk.
Oh, all right. Well, that I can see.
Because some people stink, and they're not offensive. They just stink.
Oh, there's a lot of that. Yeah, my dad. But
we got to start to wrap it up here, but I want to say the fans have probably already seen it on social media. We have an official date for the special. It's this Thursday, 2 days from now, August 6th, on YouTube. It'll be Comedy Central's YouTube. They threw me some dough to cover the costs, and they're sticking it on their thing, and they got several million subscribers, so I'm hoping that means something. And the trailer's up now, and that's already got comments saying trash with 4 A's in front of it, so
sorry
get
about
ready.
that one.
We're doing a premiere. It's premiering at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on YouTube, Comedy Central's YouTube, and I'll be there doing whatever you do. I don't know. I think I'm in the comments and I comment back when people say, hey, take out the trash. My pot is gay or whatever.
Yakety yak. Don't talk back.
So, and I think it helps if people are watching it like an event, like a TV show.
Yes, it does.
That's good. Yeah, that's good for the algo. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 6% Pacific. And sorry, I had a little stroke there.
Oh, yeah.
Be there Thursday, YouTube. And you know the drill. You guys are the best fans in comedy. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a comment. Mention the podcast in the comments and say, hey, great. And share the fuck out of it. Give it to your mother, your aunt, your sister, your dad. Eat them all out and watch it. Watch it a few times. I mean, can you watch it multiple times? Does it give it extra views? How does that work?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Watch it over and over and just let the fucking thing play. You know, even if you're taking a diarrhea dump, just leave it on your laptop, leave it on the TV. And the beauty of the YouTube is you get a link. Share that puppy. Send it to your mom, your dad, incest, whatever, and just spread the love. And we got to make these big, folks. Like, we're a couple of comics just trying to make it out there. We obviously can't get on, the Amazons and the HBOs. So throw us a bone and it's good. I've seen it. I saw it live. I can't imagine how it's going to look with that crisp color correct and the nice sound engineering and all that nonsense. So.
Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Oh, shit. Here we go. We're live. It's happening. Welcome to Tuesdays with Stories, folks. I'm Joe Vintage T List, and that's Marky Armpit Stain Norman.
Woo, Jesus. Hey, Chanel, that is a wet spot and a half.
Yeah,
Man,
you
I'm like a lady at a Beatles concert in the 60s.
Yeah, you look like a history teacher.
Oh, man, we had a teacher, Mr. Stadler.
Use this time for some target practice.
Fat as hell.
Real things coming soon.
Right out of Central Casting, the comb over with like the 6 lines.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Pocket protector with 18 pens, a protractor, a compass, a dildo, and big old yellow under the pit.
Doesn't it blow you? I hate the yellow, first of all. If you saw my pillow, my sheets, my blankets, bright yellow. It looks like there's a fucking crazy piss party happening in my bedroom. The whole pillow, bright yellow.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Yeah, this song, I mean, I don't know, it doesn't really pick up here. Let me try to
It's a little
find
dingy. A little dinge.
Try to find we got some new stuff going here, and a lot of people listen on audio anyways, but take my word, it looks like a Simpsons sketch in here.
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
This is Professor over here. I know about the urine, but you're talking just sweat, wear and tear.
Let's get that bird spinning. Finish
I
up.
guess
We're
it's
airborne in
just
3.
A night sweater or night terrors.
You are.
Or whatever.
We got the
Night
green
watch.
light.
I don't
You're
know
going to
what
the
it
war
is, but my
zone.
pillow is
Grab
just
your gear and
bright
shoot.
yellow, always
You're
has
up in
since a
3.
kid. I mean, 3 weeks
You are cleared hot on all threats. Watch your ass down there.
Shaking and sweating no matter what. And it's yucky.
I'll see you on the other side. Battle Royale.
They look like an old treasure map.
You got gas closing in fast. Unass yourself to the safe zone.
What are you talking about with this? The bat?
Marking contract.
The button up. It's just ruined back there just with sweat. I guess it's like your pillow is big and brown and yellow and gay and weird. I mean, you can't get out. Like, I put bleach on it, I put holy water and placenta, nothing.
That makes you feel better that you got back in the next.
Oh man, back of the neck, my lower back is covered in semen, and I got some wet sheets too. Using my mattress. It's horrific.
Kooky times, I think everyone's anxious. I can't sleep well anymore. I don't sleep. I wake up. I have.
You're losing ground.
Half awake
Move
in the
it.
morning, when you got your kind of awake. I think there's emails I have to send.
Yes.
It's like 6:25, and I'm like, Christina Bonfire. Got a bonfire email. I'm just going through my head, and I keep waking up early now. And people are like, "You get up and at 'em. It's good. You're up early." But I'm like, "No, it's horrific. I just can't sleep."
I'm the same way, and I'm so jealous of these.
Bounty
queens
targets
who,
marked.
like,
Kill 'em all.
Slept till 1. Like Sam, I used to text
Be
Sam
advised,
at,
an enemy
9.
squad is
He
tracking your
would knock me back
location.
till 2. He's like, I just got up. I'm making coffee. I'm like, do you know what a gift that is? Like, I know it's you lost your day, but at least you're healthy. At least you're like cleansing yourself with your snooze.
Well, you want that middle sleep. You want 8 solid. I want to go to bed at 1 and wake up at 9 and just feel woo.
True, but wouldn't it be nice to have the option? I mean, if you're one of those to one guy, just set an alarm for 10.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. I want 8 solid, REM, whatever the fuck. I go to bed at 3. I wake up at 11. I can't do the math, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I hear you. I can't think of sounds made up. It's real.
Yeah, I believe it. What started this with the sweat? Because there was some other thought I wanted to branch into. Free yellow, for the bed.
Shit.
You said something.
I'm not. Oh, I think you're blocked up with the gig.
No, that was before. That was off air. Don't start going into the off air business. My God.
Oh God.
We'll really get shut down.
Yeah, we'll turn into Mel Gibson over here. Shit, I can't remember. Fuck.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure something else will come up to talk about.
Oh, now I'm jizzing on my face. I can't figure this out. Wait, hold on. I want to know this. So you turn yellow with the sheets. You get no sleep. Ah, fuck. Oh, I got it.
Planting cluster
I
mine.
had the teacher with the yellow stains.
Yes, Shelby just also.
Oh, what did he
teacher.
say?
He said.
There we go.
What was the teacher thing
On
now?
this,
See now,
this right here.
no, but now I remember what we were talking about, but I don't remember what it sparked me. It spawned me or sparked me. Did I ever tell you this one? We had to come up. Did I ever tell you this? We had to come up with a team name. We had team trivia, 7th grade. Mr. DaCosta was our and we were blue. We were gonna be. There was like blue, red, yellow, and you had to come up with a team name based on the color, and our color was blue, and one of my suggestions was Blue Blux Bland. And he just wrote it down on the chalkboard. Like, he was like, that's an option, and it didn't get picked, it didn't get chosen. But I feel like if a kid said that now, they would fucking throw him out through face first of the window.
You're all different colors, so like.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
Color coordinated, which is also weird. But that's pretty clever for a kid. Like, that's pretty worldly.
It wasn't bad, yeah. I mean, I knew about the Ku studied the Ku Klux Klan in that class.
Gas
so
is
I thought
closing in.
it was
Relocating the safe zone.
You know, whatever.
We lost track of the bounty target. Contract
If
failed.
it was a math class, it would be a little weirder.
Yeah.
But it was a thing of like, we had just studied that, and I did a Ku Klux Klan pun But the fact that he wrote it down, I'm like, okay, we'll vote on that. If it gets voted on, we'll choose it.
I like this teacher. He goes with the flow at least. You know, he's not like shunning children for having ideas, even if they're weird.
He had a big sign that said put downs with like a circle and a line through it. No put downs.
Oh.
And it was the first time I ever heard the term put down, and I still haven't heard it very much. It's not a in-use term.
No, and you know what else is like that is tardy. Seems like tardy would go away, but that's only heard in schools. You never hear tardy like, oh, Jeff's tardy, he's the accountant.
Yeah, good point.
At
You hear
some point-
retardy.
You hear retardy, yeah, but I think it's an age thing. Like you hit puberty, you get pubic hair, and all of a sudden you're not tardy.
You got gas moving in.
Yeah, there's weird things. I remember there was also a sign in one of my math classes that said, be a robot, not a bigot. But it didn't even rhyme. 'Cause, like, on paper it looks similar because it's bot. But I was like, you
right.
don't want to be a robot. You
No.
should just say, don't be a bigot. But robot's no good. And they don't even rhyme.
Yeah, and you could still be a racist robot.
Good point.
Aha, I have a point.
Yeah,
You know-
I'm sure there's racist robots.
Yeah, you know, when Google, we did this once. When you Google, they Google
Marking
face match,
contract.
they did a black family, and it came up as a couple of you-know-whats, and it was a racist thing. They got rid of it.
Yeah, racist robots.
Yeah. Fun fact, oh shit, you had something that sparked it. I'm in a mood here, I'm a little cranky. It's happened to me again. Somebody stole my bike cover. That's the third one.
Jesus.
Can you believe it?
What are you supposed to do about this? I guess it's like nets in a basketball hoop, where it's just like that's the thing. You like when we played basketball.
Bounty targets are up.
Australia
Get
here,
after 'em.
Moody McCarthy would always bring a net because something just take them, so you just put it up, and we started just taking them down with us and putting them in your pocket and leave. You can't do that with a bike cover, but it seems like it's kind of like the basketball net. It's just something that gets taken.
I guess so. I mean, fool me once, I'm a kook. Fool me twice, I'm a chooch. Fool me 3 times, I'm a cum-guzzling Nazi over here. But I found a solution. And I think
Okay.
I'm going to crack the code and beat the crooks. So I've been Googling bike covers, and I saw one with a hole at the bottom that you can put the lock through. So now the lock's gone through the hole, through the wheel, and onto the post.
Now, let me ask you this: is there any damage to the bike? Are they stealing the cover and then taking a shit on the hood or whatever?
This is the weird thing, is I studied this, and I could talk about this for an hour, but I took a bunch of CBD. I'm out of sleeping pills, so I was like, all I got CBD, so I guzzled it. And if you guzzle CBD, you will get high. It's just like it's almost like non-alcoholic beer. Like if you drink 90 of them, you'll feel a buzz.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was pretty high, and when I get high, I'm paranoid. The wife's out of town, so I was just laying in my apartment in the dark, with the covers up to my nose.
No shields, no problem, fellas. No problem.
Now you're even more paranoid, so I'm panicking. I'm looking to
Gas
bed,
is closing in. Get to the new safe zone.
I say, fuck it, you're 36 years old, go to bed, you're fine, you're just high, you're paranoid. I go to bed, I wake up, the cover's gone. So I assume this hobo nabbed it, and went and made a little bed out of it, or a canopy, or a mosquito net.
Well, that would be almost the best case scenario if like a homeless crazy person got it, because at least you were of service. Maybe he made a tent out of it, he can live in it. If it's just some whippersnapper stealing it, to wipe his ass with, or
Yeah.
some other douche who lost his, so he's taking yours, that sucks. But if it's a kook, you can look at it, switch angles and say, hey, he needed it more than I did, all that bullshit that no one
Right.
believes.
Right. Well, now that you asked if the bike is in disrepair, the only thing I saw, and this is kooky and jarring, and it makes your dick hole sweat. There was a pile of cigarette ash on the seat. What the hell is that?
Gas is
I don't
inbound.
like that.
I don't like that either. That means somebody goes, fuck this guy. Like in the 80s.
Did he burn a hole through the fabric?
No hole. It's like a pleather seat, and it just had the pile on it. But I wiped it, and it was pretty fine.
Yeah, somebody ashed on your bike. I mean, I think I remember this time where we were building a basketball hoop in our driveway, and which was silly because the driveway, you've been to my parents' house, it had like 2 exits. It was like it was at an angle, and then it had like the tire dip where the car sits. There's like tire marks. So there's big potholes in the driveway. It was horrible. It was the worst basketball.
All right, top 35. We can turn this shit around, fellas. Who says we can't?
Marking contract.
Like the base of the thing. And I remember one day I came home, there was a bunch of trash and the thought that somebody had walked through my lawn and put shit in our belongings. It devastated me with the anxiety of like, who was in our yard? Our cars were here. Somebody walked.
Positive ID on the bounty target. Hunt him down.
Sing it, sister. I know exactly what you mean. It's the violation. It's the you have no control. This already happened. Somebody did it. Somebody's a prick. They fucked you. And they just it's the lack of consideration. Like, I have this cigarette pack. I have this beer can. I don't want it. Fuck this guy. You know, I'm throwing it in this little receptacle. That'll do.
Well, and you have the feeling that, like you just alluded to, that you're like, maybe they know me. Maybe they hate me. Maybe they were like, I don't like this family. I'm gonna go stick a pack of cigarettes in their basketball hoop thing.
Yeah, that's a factor. It all stinks. I just wish you just want to catch them and go, hey, what are you doing? Why are you ashing on that? You know, and they'll be like, ah. You know, it's almost like Twitter or social media where you can be really mean or a comment because there's no face. But you would never say that to the person in real life.
Right. Yeah, we got to get back to the face. The faces, face to face, face the nation.
Yes.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
It's got the lock hole. So now when they rip it off, they're gonna have to take the whole baby.
Yeah, good for you. That's a bummer. What do you do in the winter? You stick it in the house, or what happens?
Cover it up. The cover's waterproof and weatherproof and anal proof, and it seems I had it all out last winter. It was fine.
Well, I'm about to have to go to the garage around the corner and pay for a parking spot. I'm flying for the first time in a couple weeks. We're going to Marfa, Texas, with Sarah's mother and sister. So I got to find a place to put the car, and I was gonna get this garage because it's so you have parking, you have to keep moving the goddamn car.
Yeah.
It's so rough. You go over there and just be like, here you go. It's like $400 a month.
Yeah, here, rape me up the pooper. This is but you need it.
Gas is moving.
Drive out to Long Island or Yonkers or something and park it there, but fuck it.
Then you gotta take a car to the thing, and we've already had the experience of that long drive, and then you just can't find a spot, and you just it just fucks your mother right in the ass. So, but it's killing me to go over there and be like, okay,
yeah,
here's a ton of money for just a space.
Yes, but it will be peace of mind. You have that. That's really what you're paying for, because this sounds horrible, but anytime you own something, it's just another thing to be anxious about, another thing to worry about, another thing to lose or break. So this bike is like the most expensive thing I own, and it's just sitting on the street, so I worry about it constantly, which is also why I don't know if I can have kids. But I had to bring it to the shop once, and the guy's like, it's going to be like a week and a half, I'm sorry. And I was like, great, because now I know it's locked up in a shop for the first time. It's being fixed, but it's actually the safest it's ever been.
Bounty contract's been pulled.
Yeah, good point. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I have to do that myself with the garage. But even the garage, you're like, it could get scratched, breathed on wrong, or people could shit on it. You're just afraid that guy's gonna steal it. But I guess, a Sentra, nobody's taking a Sentra joyriding.
No, and I think they cover that. You probably have to sign some bullshit. They go, hey, we took a dump on the radiator. We'll clean it up.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's weird. I've had it for 3 weeks, and I'm already like, it's my car. It's over there.
That's good.
It's like you lose that thing. I'm like, can you believe it? We got a car. I'm like, all right, let's take the car. I've been in it too much already. Put 1,200 miles on it already. I'm like, fuck. I don't want to drive. I got to get it. I'm taking an Uber. I'm like, I don't feel like driving. Well, the parking sucks. The potholes, my God. The car's going to last 8 weeks in this fucking city.
Oh, yeah, brutal. Queens is bad, man. Astoria is real dinks.
Well, we might have to bleep that, but yeah.
Well, Dinks.
Well, it's a very diverse area for sure. It has dinks, but it's got potholes as well. And that's
Phyllis is calling. Hello.
I'm more worried about the potholes, but those guys can be trouble.
Ooh, I can't keep up with the slow. Which one's a bad?
Oh, did he get me?
Give us all a try.
We just drove it down to Arlington. I got my
A
first taste of
fucking
the road,
smoke strategy never fails.
this past weekend. It was really bizarre, and I got to tell you, it's got me in a real funk, a Marty Funkhauser, because so Sarah took a gig, Arlington Draft House, which I hadn't been to in 8 years. My last time there was I was there featuring for Jonigan, December 2012. And it was my my second to last week drinking. I had 10 days before I got sober, and I opened for DePaulo there a couple times with our old pal Eli Sayers was emceeing. So I got good memories there. But I shifted over to the DC Draft House. That's my gig.
Same. Good room.
Yeah, better room. DC Draft House is my favorite. We've talked about it. And Arlington Draft House, no disrespect, great room. It's cool, but it's just not. I don't like it as much as DC.
Yeah. I mean, DC is in the city. It's got the low ceiling. It's tight. It's quiet. It's intimate. It's cool.
Yeah, it's great. So this was their first gig, first show. It's a movie theater / comedy club. They haven't had anything in 5 months. This is grand opening, and so they got Sarah headlining. And I'll go, what the fuck? I got nothing to do. I'll drive you down there. We got the car. So we drive down there, and it's so strange.
No ego, by the way. You got
What's
no
that?
ego. I love that. No ego. You're like, yeah, I'll open for you. What am I doing?
Wow, I think it was fun. I did guest spots, and to me, it's hot. I'm fucking the headliner. She's older. She's headlining. It was like the ultimate fantasy to me.
Right.
And it's like, I'm a young whippersnapper trying to do guest spots, and then the headliner's like, eat me out.
Check your weapons, check your gear. We're holding for deployment.
They was dirt in the back of the car. Like, yes, this is totally nuts. Whatever you say.
That's what I'm into. I'm like, just fucking rip my hair out.
All stations, green light. We are deploying to the war zone.
I hope she cut your time. I hope she shit on you when she got on.
Rip
You know,
the
the whole
dust
thing.
off. We're up in green lights. Let's move.
And I went and got her soda.
Gang's all here. Word came down. We are green to go. So gear up, grab your shoots. We're going to the war zone. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
Leave at 9:45. But how about this?
Let's get this done. Battle Royale.
There's nobody in there. Like the Google Maps is like, oh, go across
Keep
Times
clearing that
Square.
gas.
Are you
Get to
sure?
the
Are
safe
you
zone.
crazy? If you drive in there, it's just us. We're just driving through Times Square. Like there's no cars, there's no people. I mean, it's picking up a little bit, but 7 months ago, Google Maps would never be like, take 40
Marking
seconds to
contract.
cross the city.
That's a great point. Yeah. Go right through Grand Central Station. It's the quickest way.
Breeze right through, and pretty sweet.
Let's fucking get this shit. We're down to 5 people. Throw me a like, throw me a follow, fellas. I need it. Hop in the chat if you're already following.
35% capacity is 50 people max. And a room that holds, exactly, a room that holds like 275 or whatever. And they had to put them spread out.
Yeah.
So just really big, but you got a taste. It gave me a taste.
You got gas moving in.
Go work the road, and then Chris Allen came down with that bully, and we hung out, and he's going to do that spot, and you know, you miss that feeling of like, you come by here, I'll come do a guest spot there, we'll meet up back here at the diner, but there's no meeting up and all that shit.
Right. I know.
Bounty target smart.
The
Kill 'em all.
hotel is fun. The green room is fun. You eat in the green room. You got the fridge with the waters and the Red Bulls and all that shit is great. The smell of the club I love, and Yeah, you see the marquee with the name on it. The whole thing it's a bummer. I can't wait to get back.
Oh, I almost started crying.
You're
earlier
being
'cause
tracked by an enemy
I was
squad.
on Vanity
Evade
Fair,
and
when did you
survive.
shoot the special? So I had to look back because I was trying to get the date, and I looked at my calendar, and you just see it so packed, and you're like, Alan's office, dentist's office, Fat Black, new jokes,
Right.
Tuesdays with stories, and you think of like all these things. It made me like, it took my breath away thinking about our lives before all this, because I'm good at settling in and accepting it and being like, this is what our life is, we can't control it, yada yada, fuck my dad. But when you really think about the old days, you're like, fuck.
I know. So sad. So sad. And think this is even, I almost don't want to say it 'cause it's almost bummery. But just think, like, we've been doing 5 months here, how much time we've been in, whatever it is. Think about how much we would have accomplished in those 5 months. I mean, we just lost part of our life. We're still doing the pod, thank God. We're dumbing down the queens and the Patreon, thank God. But, like, think about every new bit you would have. Think about every new check you would have.
All bounty targets are KIA. Well done.
Jeez, it just kills me.
And the joy. There's a lot of joy with a lot of boys and girls that are homeless or whatever bullshit.
Where's the joy?
Exactly.
Almond joy. But yeah, it's tough. At least you got a taste, I guess. You got a little methadone.
Yeah, it was a little fun, but you know what it was?
What
There
the
was those
fuck?
shows where it's Arlington, Virginia. They weren't really comedy fans. They were just kind of people that were like, they wanted to do something.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was a set. You know those sets where you're like, I can tell that they...
You got to be shit. That dropped a few viewers.
And the MC was great, but I was like, just tell him about the special. And so he's not. He's like, this guy just released a special on YouTube, but I'm like, you gotta say a big special, an hour special, or a big show in Netflix and in addition, because otherwise it sounds like a special that threw up, you know, talking to a microphone on YouTube. It's a special on YouTube.
Yes.
The YouTube is, it still is, it's working out for us, obviously, but it still sounds like a Make-A-Wish.
Yeah, because anybody could do it. Free to upload.
So I went out and just ate a bag of shit, just a big bag of cheese every show. I mean, like, it was a couple of tee-hees, a couple of ha-has, but you could just tell that I'm like, oh, these people hate me, I suck, and meanwhile, the special's doing great. It's got 250,000 views. I'm on top of the world. And then it's the great equalizer. You walk out there, and they're just eating popcorn. You can hear the popcorn being chewed. And, of course, there's two ladies going, yeah? Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, let me just say this. A couple things. One, isn't it? Well, first of all, congrats on the special, by the way. Everybody's jizzing all over it. Everybody loves it. The views are insane, by the way. Like, you're hitting like 100K a day almost, or maybe more.
I think it's around 400,000 in 4 days. It's pretty wild.
Wow! I mean, you're gonna hit a mill. That a million feeling. There's nothing better, and people are sharing it. Everybody's into it. I'm getting comments about it. I'm getting messages like, "This special is great." I'm like, "Yeah, tell him." But thank you, yeah. And I'm so glad it worked out. I'm so glad it happened. I'm glad everybody likes it. But also, I've said it before, I'll queef it again. Isn't it interesting about comedy that you can say the same jokes that murder, but in front of these people, they're going, this guy's bad. That's the hardest thing about comedy. Like, if you make a basketball, whether there's 8 people in the room or 20,000, it still counts for 2. Why does the joke not count and you can be considered shitty just because the vibe is... Isn't that frustrating?
Yeah, but you need, that's what makes it so beautiful, man. It's like it's a dance. You need both participants or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a conversation. I
But
get it.
You do. You just want to be like, this is good. You want to come out and say, I'm good. Just whatever you're thinking, just switch it into like, this guy's great.
Right.
And you'll start enjoying these more. Because they come in very...
Gear up fast. We're about to get evil.
Yeah. All right. So I feel bad for Sarah. She's got like 45 in this.
It was rough coming off stage being like, all right, good luck. But it's good, you know, it's like we're getting our toes back in, you know, you warm up a little bit, you try a little bit, but indoor shows, I think I'm done with
Time's over. Now you deploy to the war zone.
just weren't great, and some of these outdoor
I want
shows
that bird
weren't
ready
good,
in
so
3 mics. Relay those coordinates.
It was safe.
Things all here.
Hard, but it just wasn't. It
Word
just made
came
me feel
down.
sad.
We
It
are
wasn't-
green to go. So gear up, grab your chutes. We're going to the war zone. Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all
We've
threats.
been on each other's heels with these. Did you talk about?
Let's get this done.
That was
Battle Royale.
Reporters from PA, never even heard of it before. Cute little town, and me and Doug.
Be
T,
advised,
you know Doug
gas
T,
is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
Marking contract.
Hey boys, what are you doing in here? We're like, no, we're just doing a quick. But Doug Key drove out, and it was like a taste of normalcy. You show up, there's a couple people there you know, we cracked a few beers, beautiful out, packed out, lawn chairs, news games there, comedy shirts, and they were good. It was a good show. People laughed, you hear laughter, and then that drive back. There's nothing better than
Let's get this shit going, guys.
coffee show.
Yes, sorry. I was just
It's the best. Beautiful. Like, one Tuesday he gave me a bunch of hot sauce, and he's like, I put a few beers in the bag for the fuck of it. And I was like, oh, my guy. He's throwing out mushrooms and Adderall, all kinds of stuff. So me and Doug cracked the beer. It's nighttime. You finished your work.
Gas is closing in.
And you got like an hour and 10 to get back. There's no better feeling. And you're like, the little things. It's almost like after a
Enemies
workout,
dropping
that
into the
endorphin rush
AO.
you get, but it was after comedy.
Oh, I love that feeling. Yeah, we did it the week before. I had to drive into a Dell house way out in Brooklyn, and then we just did it this weekend, Saturday after Arlington. We drove back through the night. I got the XM radio going. I got a program show.
Let's have ourselves a fight.
And then you talk about how comedy was, how it could be. You found some bits, and it feels great. And that driving back after the gig and just getting home, and you're like, we're in our own beds.
Yes.
We work tonight in a different state. And yeah, it feels great. It's nice to be working even a little bit in any capacity. You just want to tell jokes. I miss telling jokes.
Well, that's the thing people don't realize, and I'm going to sound like a twat here, but working is, I think it's healthy and good. I mean, we're lucky we get to do the things we do and, get paid for, but like, I know everybody's like, we got time off. I'm, like, I took so many naps, I needed a nap. And man, like Jim Gaffigan's got 4 hours. I'm like, don't you just want to eat all day and not get off the couch? You're like, no! You go to work and accomplish something, and then you're happy to make everybody's trying to get away from discomfort, but I think that's what we should be going forward, especially now with the
Marking contract.
Well, that's definitely part of the problem. Is nobody has any feels they have any value. Even if you hate your job, at least you feel like you're contributing to society in some way. Whether you're bagging somebody's groceries, or you're building somebody's house, or you're cleaning somebody's island.
Yeah.
Bounty targets identified. Weapons free.
You just feel like, I'm a
An
piece
enemy
of shit.
squad's hunting you. Stay sharp.
Exactly, and that's when the social media, maybe the canceling, maybe all this other stuff, you feel so drawn to it because you're like, I should be doing something. Let me take down this racist or whatever, this homophobe, and like ruin them and do this and that and dig up tweets, and that ain't shit. You're not helping. Like, go actually help somebody that is underprivileged or marginalized. That's a real feather in your asshole.
Yeah. Speaking of feathers in our asshole,
Yes.
we got some sponsors that we love.
Oh!
All bounty targets
boy, when you
destroyed.
think
Hell of a
about
job.
Your asshole, what do you think about? You think about protecting your asshole, housing your asshole. The best way to do that is, in my opinion, with sheath underwear. Woo-wee. Right this moment, I am wearing sheath underwear. And I really am. This episode of Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. That's right, Sheath, S-H-E-A-T-H. Now that everyone is working in their underwear,
Loadout
you
drop
might as well
headed
be
your
doing
way.
it in the best gosh darn drawls around. Is it drawers? I thought it was drawers. I don't know. But anyways.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
This guy's a fan, and we love his underwear. I genuinely love him. The pouch, the dick and ball pouch, your penis goes in. And
Yes.
I tell you, it's like pulling your cock out of a vagina when you pull this.
Marking contract.
You gotta get it. I've gotten it before. I got my wife. We said bra and undies, and they're sexy. They're her favorite bra and underwear, and they're just the best. I love this underwear. I got a sexy design.
The enemy took
and
that one,
just the
but
shape.
we'll get him back.
I look like a sexy monster with these sheets. We're both in her underwear, wearing sheath. If you want to turn your wife on, if you want to get turned on by her, get yourself some sheath underwear. Tell them some more. You've experienced this.
I love the sheath. It's definitely got the 2-pouch compartment that keeps your nuts in a hut and your pecker packed away. It's really what you need when you're wearing underwear, because sometimes I got some underwear that got no slit. So I got to yank them down like a special needs kid every time I take a woo-woo. And then I got the ones that my dong flops out every time I buy a playground. So they're all over the road. But these guys have nailed it, and they're sexy, and they're sleek. Go to sheathunderwear.com. Order with promo code Tuesdays. This guy's a fan. To get 20% off your first order and Sheath Underwear's 100% money back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com. Promo code Tuesdays. Support this show by supporting them. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your cojones. And send us a photo, will you?
And Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you also by Raycon. You guys know how much we love Raycon. Now that everyone is cooped up at home, using earbuds has become an essential service. Drown out the sounds of your roommates, your girlfriend, the fireworks, or whatever's going on out there.
Tuesdays. It's like a gaggle of cops leaning on their car. But I walk around every day. That's buy Raycon. One more time. That's buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. Get them while they're hot.
Yes, they are hot.
All right. Speaking of hot, it's blazing in New York, and I try to walk around every day just to get my steps in because I love my apartment so much I never want to leave. But how about this? I'm walking by Washington Square Park, and I just see a bunch of teens and 20-somethings, you know, hip kids, just staring at cops from across the street. There's like a gaggle of cops leaning on their cars, doing whatever. And they're just flipping them off and going, murderers, murder. It was insane.
We're headed to the war zone. Get geared up and stand by.
Whatever. They weren't even looking at us.
Yeah, it's strange. A lot of animosity, a lot of wiggly boobs and
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'm hoping the dust settles and we can move on. I was driving down 3rd Avenue the other day, or 2nd Avenue the other day in the city here, heading down to the village, and there was a kid standing in the street, and he kept doing this, like pretending to jump in front of every car. Oh,
Enemies dropping into the AO.
Do that. It was like, I don't know what you said, like he got you, made you flinch or whatever, but in the street, I mean, he was in the street pretending to
All stations, this is Shadow 01. Deployment to the war zone has been authorized.
Our behavior, as my friend Greg Hahn would say.
Yeah.
I want that bird ready in 3 mics. Relay those coordinates. There you are.
Spooky times out here.
We got the green light. You're going to the war zone.
It is.
Grab your gear and shoot.
I mean,
You're up in 3.
he's not doing anything like
Rules of engagement are simple. Weapons free on all threats.
They were doing it for 45 minutes, an hour. Like, it was almost kind of a
I'll see you on the other side. Battle Royale.
It's a drill. I don't know. I mean, I used to tag shit, but at least there's proof I was there or something.
You got gas closing in fast. Unass yourself to the safe zone.
I tag folks on Instagram.
Positive ID on multiple
Marking contract.
strongholds. Locations are marked on your TAC map.
Yeah, there's so much spicy animosity out there. You can feel it. It just makes you want to move up into the woods and you know, smash a computer with the phone and stick your father's dick in your ass.
Because if it ain't the animosity, then you got the wacky homeless. That's there, dropping sandwiches. It's a weird time to live in a big city. I'll tell you that.
And the murder rate, I'm walking, you know, I go get my bagel every morning. There's lots of
What? Oh, we already have a gun. Fuck this piece of shit.
Oh, well, I never, stop that spinning. But,
A loaded gun. 2 teenagers with a loaded gun.
yikes.
My God.
My God.
Be on the lookout, folks.
There you go. Head on a swivel. Now, I got 2 big nuggets here.
Please, I need some
Actually-
nuggets. I got nothing.
All right, they're not that great of nuggets, but they're nuggets. But I'll do one first. But they're similar stories. They're both 2 gigs I did, but they both were insane gigs. Like, couldn't have seen this coming. Wacko bananas gigs. I'll try to fly through both of these. I don't know how much time we got. All right. I'll
We got time. We got lots of time.
all right. So the first one.
What?
Saturday.
No,
Yay,
fuck.
Nugs! Diner in Astoria. Outdoor show for the vehicles, and they honk their horn and flash the lights if you're doing well. You
Oh,
know
yes. I'll be there Saturday. This Saturday night. We're sending you back to the future.
Yes.
Yeah, Bel Air Diner this Saturday in Astoria. I'll be there this week, just in a few days.
By the way, you got me. You were right about this. I got 8 guys texting me going, "Stop doing these gigs because all these queefs hit me up and go, Norman did it. Norman did it," and then they go, "Oh, if he did it, maybe I'll do it," and then they hate themselves. And then they
No,
hate
I
me.
know. You're bringing down the value of comedy. You're ruining the economy single-handedly. There's this podcast. They're like, Mark did this podcast. I listened to it. They're like, we got 6 listeners, and 3 of them are my uncle. But
I know.
Mark did it.
Well, so you did the Nog one. So I was, you did the diner. All right, I've listed it. I'll do it. So I go out there. By the way, I checked the forecast. There's a cloud. There's just a little sad, anally gray cloud, but it's not. There's no driplets. It's just a wet, shitty fart, but there's no drippings. So I go, all right, we'll probably be okay. I text Jay, the guy running the show. He goes, "It ain't gonna rain, I promise." And I go, all right, great. So take the train out there, get out there. It's drizzling. Show's still being set up. It's like 6:50. Starts at 7. Drizzling. It'll pass. Look at that. The clouds are moving. Everybody gets all scientific. See the rotation of the earth. Here we go. God and Allah and all this. And then, right when the coast gets on the mic, I mean, torrential, baby. Downpour. And I go, well, I guess we got to call it. That's that. He goes, what are you kidding? The show's, they paid. The show's got to happen. They're
Use
all in
this
their
time for
cars.
some
They don't
target
give a
practice.
shit. It's raining. They
Real
just hit
thing's
the
coming
road.
soon.
Yeah, look at the comedian. The host didn't even show up because he goes, it's canceled, right? He goes, no, it's on. He goes, I'm not coming out. So we got no host. Nog had to host it. They call it, he called me and he called Jake Green. We got a show. It's raining. It's boring. The old man, Jay, and it was horrible. Yeah, it was like the fucking postal service. No rain or fine. So everybody's going up, and it's a cordless.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Has a Zoom show zooming, so he has a laptop with an umbrella. The comics did not. It was fucking classic. And so every comic's going up, going, "This is it. This is my life." And I go up. And
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
Lights. And I have a little Hello Kitty umbrella. I look like Ben Franklin out there. I got a key
Rep
with
for
a
dust
rope.
off. We're up in
And
3 mics.
my
Let's
opening
move.
line is,
There
I
you
got a
are.
card saying no.
We got the green
And
light.
it's-
You're going to the
it
war
was like it
zone.
encapsulates the
Grab
whole
your
thing.
gear and
You're
shoot.
right. What am I
You're up
doing?
in
I'm
3.
miserable. I'm in the cold. I look like
Rules
a
of
wet
engagement are simple. Weapons free on all
So
threats.
that gig, by the way, is like 90 minutes away from you. I walk down the street and see walk.
Let's roll.
Sitting under a tent.
outside safe. They were under
Battle
the tent.
Royale.
They're the only laughter you hear, because otherwise it's just a fucking blink.
Gas is closing on your position. Suggest you hightail it out of there.
Save the show.
Marking
It
contract.
could be a tough one, but hopefully they come out this Saturday to the gig. But yeah, it's tricky. What did you do? You ride the bike over there?
No, I got this guy Eric with the big shoes. Guy named Black Eric. And he's been filming me new stuff. He's like, hey, I listened to News Kid. I'm a fan. I see you film shit. I'll film it. And he came up from Philly on a bus and filmed it. So we got it on tape. So I'll put that shit on YouTube. It should be pretty humiliating.
Oh, well, sounds like fun. It's a good story. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure the people were happy. There was some fans there, 'cause fans come out to that. We got fans.
Yeah, fans come out. And
Your
I think
objective's
fans
simple.
realize, like,
Eliminate
oh,
all
these are
bounty
fucking
targets.
Losers, because they go, hey, you were on a road again. Oh man, I love the Out to Lunch. Oh baby, Comedy Central, Fallon, the Seinfeld's talking about you. Then I cancel
Be
this.
advised,
And I go
there's an
out there
enemy
this year.
squad
Yeah,
gunning
I go
for
out there
you.
and I go, oh, all right. And they just go, oh man, what a fucking nerd.
Yeah, it's strange times, but we're all navigating. Because for a while, early on, a bunch of comics were like, I don't do Zoom, fuck Zoom.
I'm so tired.
And then
I'm
after a
starting to
while, you're like,
crash.
all right, I guess
But
I'm
that's
doing
just
Zoom.
when we turn this shit around and get this
I
dub.
don't mind the Zoom. I'm doing Ray Allen's show Friday night. Aruba
Maybe
Ray's
even get the
for
dub
Zoom,
5.
which is the third one I've done. I did one with Ray Romano. I don't know if I talked about that on here.
You did not. I would love to hear about it.
Yeah, I did a Aruba Ray show. He's friends with Romano, so it was Aruba Ray and Ray Romano. And it was interesting because the way Ray Allen does it, he does it good. He has 5 comics doing like 5 sets of 3 minutes. So he does it kind of like not Impractical Jokers. What's the other show?
Hollywood Squares.
No, the one we did stinks.
I Love Lucy.
No,
Catch a
Byron
Predator.
Allen. The Byron Allen thing.
Allen. Yes.
The, Unleashed. Yeah, so it's like that where he goes, "Hey, Mark, your mother's got huge tits, right?" And then you talk
Right.
about those, and then he goes,
Yeah.
"Joe, your mother has small tits or whatever."
I like it, and he's got a ton of people watching, which is great, but I hate being on the whole time. I'm like, I was at a party, and I was like, I'm going to go do the Zoom real quick. I'll be right back. Then I'm like, oh, yeah, this lasts 2 hours.
Yeah, well, so the one I did with Romano, I thought he was going to do material, and of course, I'm like, yes, Ray Romano, this is going to be great. You know, you always have the vision in your head of like, I'm going to do bits for Romano. He's going to be on the floor, and he's going to take me in his jet just to, you know, let me fuck, you know, kids or whatever.
Sure.
But he didn't have material. He just interviewed. So Ray just interviewed him. It was a Ray on Ray interview for like an hour and 15 minutes. And I ended up just watching the socks, but I'm on camera. Every once in a while, Romano would be like, "Hey, Joe, you got a beard?" And I was like, "What? Yeah. I got a beard, man. It's crazy."
Right.
And it was super fun. But my family watched. They bought tickets, and so they got to see me. They got to see that Ray Romano knows me, which is nice because I've been telling them that for years. And they're like, "Okay, sure."
Right.
But yeah, it was a little weird.
Contract
Wow,
failed.
just a
Objective
hell of a guy.
lost.
What a great guy, nice guy.
Sweet guy. Couldn't be nicer.
Yeah, and he was on there all day just taking questions. It was fun.
Wow. Yeah, he's the man. He's talking about just humbleness of comedy. He was nice to me. He was at the cellar. Like, he would sit and eat with me. I mean, it's crazy. Like, this guy's a millionaire. He's on TV. But, you know, he's just normal.
Yeah, sweet guy. So Friday on Zoom. Again, I'm doing the Cellar Zoom show tomorrow night at 10 p.m. That's a good one. So check out some of these Zoom shows. You just
It's
sit
to
there
be a longer stream than it's gonna turn out to be, but I'm fucking tired.
I don't know.
I got a new baby.
Lineup we got here?
I don't know.
If you can help me out, throw me a like, throw me a follow. Baby needs a new pair of everything. I'll try to get one.